lights are out the door. My words about to pour. My boots are on the boards. I'm gonna hit the ground running. My eyes are up ahead. I'm lonely in this bed. My home is in my head. I'm gonna hit the ground running. My choices have been made. My dues have all been paid. I gotta burn before I fade. I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'll be running when I hit the ground.
He said he was interested in doing it, but then whatever. He's 17, so he's got other shit on his mind. Bang. We are live, my friend.
All right.
We're on board. How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the Lone Star Podcast. This is Bad Brad King with me today. How you doing, Brad?
Doing good, JP. How you doing, brother?
Doing all right, man. So Brad and I were co-workers at the last spot I was at. I just recently, 3 weeks ago, started a new spot. But Brad and I worked together for the last 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years at least.
Yeah, something like that. But Brad's a cool cat. I've been telling people that I've been wanting to get you on. And so like, well, who's he? What does he do? And I was like, so I like to describe you as the guy who took Point Break way too seriously.
That's horrible. Now I feel like it's a roast.
No, so Brad surfs, he snowboards, travels the world, does a lot of crazy shit. Instead of joining the FBI and chasing bank robbers, he joined the Army and shot bad guys.
Yeah.
So Brad is a Florida native or Alabama native? How do you describe it?
Alabama native. I don't claim it. I claim Florida. It took 20 years to get rid of that accent. But yeah, Alabama by birth, Florida by choice, Texas by, I guess, good fortune.
There you go. So when did you move out of Alabama to Florida? 15
years old we moved over there. So my junior year of high school, I left backwoods, barefoot, backward walk in Alabama to what would essentially end up being Beverly Hills 90210 in Gulf Breeze, Florida.
Oh, yeah?
Some of the greatest place on earth. Culture shock all the way.
Yeah, I imagine so. You said you were in a little surf school, right?
Yeah.
Y'all leave out at lunch and go do some surfing.
Yeah, we'd leave at lunch for an hour and a half, go to the beach, surf all night, we'd fish, go down there, maybe smoke a joint, go back to class and pay real good attention for the afternoon. Bikinis were good in class, sunglasses, ball caps, whatever you wanted to do. So education, obviously, first and foremost there. A lot of doctors and lawyers out of my class.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy when you're telling me that bikinis and board shorts were
a standard issue.
Yeah,
I mean the girls had to wear shorts. No length restriction, but they had to cover the bottoms up, so it wasn't just a free for all wild school.
Yeah,
well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So, high school was a fun time. Then Florida was culture shock. What was the biggest difference when you got down there? What did you have to figure out?
Man, I moved from backwoods to the beach, literally the beach. So I guess the hardest part was just learning how not to be a redneck. How to fit into a beach school and learn to be a surfer and not say y'all as much.
Yeah,
the biggest part.
Yeah, was there a lot of hostility with the new redneck blonde hair? Did you have the long hair at that time?
No, I didn't have long hair at that time. No, I fit in pretty good.
Yeah.
I played sports. I played football and golf, so I fit in pretty quick. I adopted the local culture quickly.
Yeah.
I was quick to get rid of the backwoods persona.
Well, imagine girls running around bikinis kind of change that persona quick.
Will change how you talk in an instant. You go from feast or famine to the freaking holy bounty. You'll change the way you act in a minute.
That's pretty good. So when you graduated from there and you stuck around for a while, right?
Yeah, I ran charter boats out of Pensacola for years, man. I was a charter boat deckhand chasing snapper and cobia all over Pensacola, and that was the dream. I chased the boat life for a long time until I was probably 22. So my senior year all the way till I was 22 years old, that was what I did, was fish for a living.
So what goes into that? What goes into a deckhand charter life?
Man, deckhand life it's a tough life. It looks glorious, but it's actually pretty tough, man. It's 3:30 a.m. wake up calls, prepping the boat, catching bait, prepping the bait, getting the boat rigged and ready and mechanically sound, and then adhering to your customers all day. Babysitting the kids, telling the jokes, cracking beers, baiting hooks, retying leaders, entertaining for 10 to 12 hours, and then coming back to the dock and cleaning the fish, bagging the fish, and entertaining at the cleaning table. And then once your guys are gone, prepping the boat for the next morning at 3 a.m. So pretty intense life, but man, I loved it. I loved anything.
I'm being out on the water all day.
Oh, being out on the water all day, more bikinis. So you go from bikinis to bikinis. So you'll see a common theme.
I was about to say, there seems to be a trend with you.
It really is a common theme with me. Charter boat deckhand life, man, it was hard work, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. 10-4. What was the most frustrating thing about it?
Frustrating thing about it?
Yeah.
Your analysis, I guess, is all I can come up with, man. Piss test, I was a young kid on the island, so I had to straighten up my ways. But there's really, if you don't mind hard work and long hours and being in the sunshine, there's really nothing frustrating about it. I guess when the fish don't bite.
Yeah. But that's not your fault.
That's not our fault.
Yeah. Money good?
That money was good for an 18-year-old kid on the beach. I mean, it was good. No.
Didn't have much bills at the time.
Zero bills, man. It's all cash. One of my good friends' dad traveled the world laying fiber optic cable, and he had this gigantic townhouse on the island, on the beach, decked out, rigged out with all the state-of-the-art stuff. Well, he let 3 of us live there from 19 to 22 years old. All we had to pay was a phone bill. And I don't think I ever made a payment on a phone bill. So we lived in this amazing townhouse on the beach for, those 3 years. Shark fishing at night and paddling out baits on surfboards and bikinis. And, it was just a really good fun time.
Yeah, man, that's pretty good. Pull that mic right in front of you.
Hello.
Got it. There you go. When did the hockey team players from across town, the West Side Stories rivalry, come into play?
Man, that came into about that time in the beach house is when me and the hockey players started making moves. Man, those guys were moving in on my territory on my side of the island. They were getting all the girls and getting all the attention, and me and my little crew were a little jealous. So, we had an awesome rivalry with Loki hockey team. It was freaking cool.
They were the semi-pro team, right?
Semi-pro team for Pensacola, the Ice Pilots. Then they're the Ice Flyers now. But they were all local hot shots come in, and they moved into an apartment complex down on our end of the island, a couple miles. We had some pretty legendary brawls. Unfortunately, those dudes are trained to scrap. We were trained to surf, so we had the back end of those battles most times. But
that's pretty funny.
We stood our ground.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, when you told me that in freaking Pensacola, Florida, man, the surfers versus the ice hockey players, I'm like, what?
Oh, for sure, man. That was the glory days on Pensacola Beach, man. We used to have so much fun out there, and we had the place dialed in. We were volleyball players, we were surfers, we had the condo on the beach. We kind of ran the place, and we had a lot of fun. And then these good-looking hockey players move in, and who needs hockey players on the island? And then they kind of started getting all of our attention, and we didn't like it, but. Yeah, those dudes, scrappers, man.
Didn't you say they moved up from AA to AAA or something like that, and then they all got bigger?
They got bigger over the years. They got bigger and meaner. They started out, they were like normal guys. You thought you could handle them, and then they just got bigger and meaner and less teeth and more gnarly.
You're just like, hey, you can have that. I don't even like her that much anyway.
Yeah,
man. It's my wife, but we can go.
It was fun there for a couple of years, man. You'd go to a bar, and if they had it wrapped up, you'd ease on to the next one and vice versa.
Yeah.
They'd roll in, and we'd have it wrapped up, and they'd move on to the next one. There's only so many places on that little island to hang out. And the whole focus back then was the tourists. So, they're all contained the same thing, but it's just kind of funny how we battled for supremacy on the island for that first summer.
That is pretty funny. That's like one of those stories that if you're not there, because how many people visit Pensacola, Florida every year, right?
Oh, man.
And all
millions.
the tourists and everybody comes, and it's a good time, and you're sitting and hanging out on the beach, and whatever, if we're coming from Texas and this and that, and you go to the local little, I don't know, bar and this and that, and then you're looking across the bar and it's the surfer guys, and then the hockey players, you have no idea what's going on.
You have no clue what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, there's so much that goes on living on the beach like that behind the scenes, man. You know, the things we know and the parking spots we hide, and you know, there's the ways we communicate and get through the island.
Dude, Galveston's the same way, right?
Yeah, it can be for sure.
Yeah, I mean, not so much with rivalries of people, right? But I went to school at A&M Galveston, and it was the same way. We knew all the little back roads, all the little restaurants that not. I had a guy on the podcast the other day who said he wished there was more places to eat in Galveston. I'm like, you kidding me?
There's like 8 million places.
I was like, there's a ton of things. Yeah. But it's just one of those things. If you don't know Galveston, you just go up and down the seawall and there's 4 or 5 places to eat, and up and down 61st.
Or if you're down on the west end where I'm at, man, there is nothing down there to eat. Yeah. You know, there's a few trash cans on the beach, and Nate's west end. That's about it.
That's it.
You got it wrapped up.
I do enjoy Woody's.
Yeah, Woody's is fun.
There's nothing to eat. But it's a damn good spot to go drink, and there's some live music there from time to time. Yeah. Biker rally, that place gets wild.
It was full of bikes today on my way up here.
Yeah.
Like a mini rally, maybe.
Yeah, that's a fun spot, man. It's beautiful, too. If you hit it on the right time of year, they got that big back deck.
Yeah.
We were out there watching Hunter McKithen play. Well, last year, springtime, I guess, right around this time. And, dude, it was beautiful. It was 75 degrees outside, and waves are crashing right over there. And I never had sat and thought about it. It was just Woody's on the island. Yeah. But then I'm like, man, this is a pretty nice spot.
It's awesome out there right now, man. This weekend, it's been 80 degrees. Waves have been firing. Waves were firing Thursday afternoon. They were firing all day yesterday. It just went flat this morning. It's like a Chamber of Commerce weekend out on Galveston Island right now. It's so nice.
How often do you surf out there?
Yeah, every day it's up. If it's up, I'm in it, man. If I'm wave starved, I'll go. If it's small, if there's any size or punch to it, I'm out there.
That's crazy, dude. So that's your thing. Number one thing, surfing.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, surf, man. Whatever, whenever, wherever, strike missions, whatever it takes. That's my jam.
Damn. That's crazy. I've never had that itch. Never had that itch.
It's addicting.
Yeah, sound like so. I told Brock, the guy I had on a podcast a few times before, I was like, my version of a good surfboard is a 17-foot John boat with a 50-horse Evinrude on the back of it, and I may be able to get up.
It makes paddling a whole lot easier, man. For sure, it makes paddling easier.
Yeah, man. It's just, it's one of the things. But so I don't want to give up your spots, your local spots, but where do you surf at in Galveston?
Man, I really I think it's like 35th or 36th Street down there. There's those multicolor condos. Mm-hmm. I named it Crayons. I don't know what the locals that have been here forever call it 36th Street, right there by Guido's.
Yeah.
But there's a little sandbar on the east side of that jetty there. I call it Crayons, and anytime there's a swell, it seems to do really good there. And they're inside, they're kind of dumpy. They're kind of steep. It's kind of my jam. I'm a shortboard guy, so
I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, we'll translate it in subtitles later on.
The surfers know what you're talking about. That's all that matters.
There's a handbook I could get you. It'll help you translate. There's an app, I think, for it.
I think I need it, man. Yeah. I think I need it. All these surfers in my life that I didn't even know about, man.
Yeah, we speak our own language.
Yeah. You just got back from Costa Rica?
Yeah, I just got back. What day did I get back? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night I got back for sure. Yeah, I went down there for a week. Kind of a strike mission last minute. Really big swell hitting Playa Grande. It was 6 foot and offshore the day I got there. All time. It was the best I've caught Playa Grande yet. So I spent 3 days over there on the swell. And then when the swell died, I went into kind of hangout mode and went down to Tamarindo and just kind of hung out. Yeah, unwind. I surfed a little bit there, but it's crowded and it's not really good waves. Met some really, really cool people and just had a blast.
So what is there like when you're saying the surf's up like that, is there a bunch of people that go down there just, hey, is that like a famous spot that when it surfs up, people are going down there, it's going to be crowded?
Playa Grande is not crowded.
No.
It stretches for like 2 or 3 miles. It'll wrap around and it'll catch swell direction from most any direction. With anything with a little bit of west in it, south or north, it'll catch it. And there's just so many different peaks along that break that whatever you're into, you can find it if you're willing to walk. And it's like the first evening I paddled out, it was, like I said, it was like 6 foot and offshore, which in translation is like perfect, like head high waves, really nice texture. And there was like me and this couple, and that was it. And we're sharing waves. The next morning, it gets daylight at 5:30 down there. So 5:45, I was in the water, and I was the only person in the water for about an hour, and then like 2 other guys from Rhode Island paddled out. So it's not really crowded. But in contrast, you go a mile down the road to Tamarindo, and there's like 225 beginners in the water.
Really?
You know, so it's just this, you know, you just get away just a little bit, and you've got it all to yourself.
Is there any concern with surfing by yourself like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of concerns. There's a lot of there's a river that dumps out right there. There's a lot of crocodiles. There's actually an American got his foot bit off like a year ago. Rocks, reef. Yeah, there's some concerns. Just how big a boy are you? I guess. You know.
Yeah, the ocean's a big bad bitch, man.
Yeah. The dream is to be in perfect waves, ideal waves, with like either by yourself or with just like 1 or 2 of your mates, man. That's the dream, you know, and you share it with your people, and there's not a lot of competition, and we call it hassling and sharking and snaking.
Yeah.
You know, just you and a few mates, dude, just crushing all-time waves is the dream. This just happened to be a solo mission, so, you know, I'm down there by myself. I had probably one of the best waves of my life, you know, early the second morning. And I thought no one was going to see it, you know, and I was all bummed out. And I look at the beach, and there's this guy and his girlfriend just, you know, screaming, because it was just such a fantastic wave, you know, that we were like instantly best friends.
That's
when they paddled out.
Dude. Yeah, you share that experience with them.
Right. I had someone saw it, man. If not, it's just a fib, you know.
Yeah.
It's me coming back talking about like getting barreled like I'm a chopu or something, and no one will believe it.
Did you just cuss at me? I have no idea what you just said. So when you go to trips like this, are these guys back from Florida that you normally go with?
No, man, I really don't have a lot of guys I surf with that I travel with.
Yeah.
You know, the guys back home, the waves are good back home, man. They had barrels yesterday, really good, clean, hollow barrels in Pensacola. I almost made a strike mission and went back home yesterday, but it's like a 9-hour drive for 1 day of surfing.
Yeah.
You know, typically I'll travel, you know, friends and family, whoever I can get to go, whether they surf or not, just to go hang out on the beach while I surf, you know?
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. That's a good travel thing to do. You know what I mean? Is to go hit the waves and do surfing and kind of plan trips around that. And you do that similarly with winter trips, right? You've been snowboarding all over the globe.
Yeah, I'll go on winter trips. You know, I just went to Whistler, Canada this Thanksgiving. I met my sister and her family up there. I've done Denver.
Well, talk about that Whistler trip, because this is why I call you the Point Break guy, because you went down to Mexico, right?
Yeah. Well, I went down to Costa Rica.
Oh, was it Costa Rica? Okay.
Yeah.
So for Thanksgiving, your little break, you were in Mexico, or you were in Costa Rica for how many days?
Like 5.
Surfing.
Yeah.
Living on the beach, coconuts and bikinis again. Sunburn, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you hop on a plane and you go
to Seattle to meet my sister. I hung out with my sister in Seattle for a couple of days, and then we drove to Whistler, Canada to snowboard for like, I think we were in Canada for 4 days.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
It was gnarly, man.
Yeah.
Whistler is the coolest place I've ever snowboarded. Yeah. Because there's those 2 big mountains. You got Blackcomb, you got Whistler, and like everyone that works there is either Australian or British.
You said that.
All super, super sweet, like really nice.
They're all really good looking, like 19, 20-year-old freaking like, Australians and shit.
Yeah, like everybody's really attractive. And then on the top of it, like everybody's like super, super nice.
Yeah.
You know, and like everyone's just super happy to be there. Maybe it's because weed's legal. Maybe they're all hot. I don't know, but they were all super, super sweet. It was a really, really, really good time. We had good snow the whole time. We got 6 inches of powder like one day. My brother-in-law and I were skiing. He's a phenomenal skier. And my little nephew. We just had like the snowboard trip of a lifetime, man.
Yeah.
So now Thanksgiving every year, Whistler.
That's badass, dude.
Whistler, dude.
That's bad. Yeah, you told me about that, and I looked it up. I was like, I'm gonna check this place out.
And the American dollar goes a lot further than the Canadian dollar. Mm-hmm, you know, you take a family of 5 out to eat, have drinks for $120, man. Like good food.
Yeah, well, I barely take mine to McDonald's for that, man. Come on now,
dude. That's a really, really cool place, man. Great tracks, great snow. It's just beautiful.
So, what about Denver? Are there actual? I mean, you're outside of Denver, obviously, right?
Yeah, I think it's west of Denver. Flying there, and then you got what, Winter Park, and you got Breckenridge. And it seems like there's another one out there I'm forgetting that's really popular.
Steamboat.
I've been to Winter Park, dug it, had a blast. It was Very cool place. It was very packed when I went, though. I went for New Year's a couple years ago. And it was busy, but it was cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't Whistler.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. And I've snowboarded in North Carolina at like Wolf Ridge and Mount Baker in Washington State years ago.
When did you start snowboarding? Like, how old were you when you went on that first
This
trip?
is something new. This is a new addiction.
Yeah.
I'm going to say first time ever. Man, may have been like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe. There was a huge gap, and then I started doing it a little more recently, and I like just now starting to get the hang of it. And this last trip was like where I finally dialed it in.
Yeah.
And like
you were able to shred it up a little bit, huh?
Yeah. I finally related it close enough to surfing, and I figured out the differences where, there are a lot of differences. It's very different. But I finally figured out the weight distribution and everything.
Did you ever watch the Disney movie Johnny Tsunami? I'm sure not. You're a lot older than I am.
No, well, I gotta be a lot older.
Johnny Tsunami is a kid from Hawaii whose grandfather was a great Hawaiian surfer and this and that, and they moved, and his dad's like a square businessman and all the whatever, didn't like surfing, and the grandson was big into surfing, so he moves somewhere to the snow.
Right.
And he gets into snowboard. All the preppy kids are all in skis, and then all that like outcast public school kids are all in snowboards and shit like that.
The Misfits.
Great fucking movie. But anyways, it's like the same thing. Like, he's trying to relate snowboarding to surfing and this and that, and they're like, you steer in the back on this, you steer in the front on that. It's just totally different.
Yeah, it's different, man. The bad thing about me is I'll get some momentum going, and I'll think I'm just Johnny Badass, dude. I'm not Johnny Tsunami yet, but I'm killing it, And I'll go to lay down a hack, and I'll go to press all my weight on my back foot, and I want to blow powder and just soak everybody in snow. And all I do is end up eating face halfway down the mountain until I realize that you can't do that.
I've never gone on snowboard. I got on skis, and it's, I don't know. Gravity's not my friend. Gravity's not a big man's friend. It hurts.
It hurts whether you're 9 pounds or 900 pounds. That snow's not forgiving, man. Give me a double overhead wave and a sandy bottom any day. That mountain freaking bites back.
Yeah, no joke.
That stuff hurts.
So, although you look like you're 28 years old,
you're 29.
You're 29. Oh,
yeah. That age.
No, what? You're 40, right?
42.
42. God 42. Damn, you get older every time I talk to you, man.
1976, man. I'm a bicentennial baby. Yeah, I know.
So that's what's even more impressive, man. Is you're going out there shredding it up, not slowing down a bit.
No, man. Never slow down, dude.
Yeah.
The day you slow down, the day you start dying, man.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
That's good.
No, I stay active. I run. I surf. I'm not a gym rat. I stay busy.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that's good, man. So, did you ever get into any fitness stuff, any lifting, anything like that crazy?
Yeah, back in the military days, I was big into fitness. Obviously, that's what we did.
Yeah.
So that was always a big key. Was trying to be fit for the fight and stronger than the guy next to you, so you could outdo him, and move on up the rank. I've always been active. Always tried to stay active. Running marathons and stuff for charity. So, yeah, I've always been into fitness.
Yeah. Get in. We're jumping the gun a little bit with this because I was going to get into the.
Yeah, we can.
But I do want to talk about your marathon running that you did. That's a really cool story, real cool thing you did.
Yeah.
And go ahead and kind of tell how that came about and what it was all about.
Yeah, so back about 6 years ago, I started running a marathon back home in Pensacola, Florida, for charity for Wounded Warriors. And what we do is we wear a 50-pound rucksack and military-style boots, and we run a full 26.2 miles, and we have to do it in under 6 hours to comply with city. So some of my old service buddies come down, and we do it, and it's amazing, man. It's a really cool deal.
Yeah.
The first year was, kind of a spur-of-the-moment deal. I found out some of my buddies had been killed overseas, and probably one of my closest friends ever had been blown up and was struggling to get back together, which he's a beast mode. He later ran the dang marathon with me 2 times. But, it just one of the things where I felt like I wanted to do something. I couldn't go overseas and fight anymore, and I couldn't give my services that way. So I thought, man, I'll strap up the old rucksack, see if these old legs have still got it. And lo and behold, I made it,
Yeah.
And the local town went crazy, and the media and social media and magazines and newspapers and news channels blew this thing out of proportion that some idiot surfer is going to run a marathon with a backpack on. And the community really rallied around it. And I think that first year, we raised like $20,000.
That's awesome.
For Wounded Warriors, just for running a marathon. And
that's awesome.
It really blew up into something huge back home that was like, it wasn't like a charity anymore. It was like a integral part of Pensacola Marathon. They made us family. And every year it wasn't, are y'all running again this year? It's like, what can we do to make it easier?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were a big draw. They gave us a spot at the expo, and people came and talked to us and wanted to take pictures with us and wanted to wear our rucksack, and Nike sponsored us and sent us boots. And it just got huge, man.
Yeah.
So we took last year off, but the boys they're all wound up and ready to go. So I think we're going to try to do Pensacola Marathon in November this year and Houston Marathon in January if I can get a spot with Houston.
Yeah.
So maybe a 2-run year.
Well, if anybody knows anybody from that Houston Marathon, let's try and help Brad out. Get that going. I'd love to spread the word or do whatever kind of anything I can do to help, man. You let me know.
I will, for sure. I gotta quit surfing and deal with the logistics on it and get it all set up, and then I've been running a lot. I got to strap that green tick back on and get used to that girl again. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Golly, that's rough. 50-pound sack, 26 miles.
It's a beast, man.
Come and get it.
It's a beast.
That's rough. That's crazy, man.
It costs about 8 toenails every year.
Yeah, I can imagine. Did you, at the peak of that, how many guys did you have running that with you?
We were always a 5-man team. After the first year, my buddy, one of my best friends ever, he challenged me the second year and said, man, if I can bring you a Best Ranger competitor winner, a retired Command Sergeant Major with more combat tours under his belt than anybody I know, and himself who had been badly wounded overseas, he's like, if we'll come down and run it with you, will you do it again? And I was blown away. I was like, dude, in a heartbeat, because you're looking at, these aren't just guys you randomly say these guys are heroes. I mean, these guys are true to God, like world heroes. These are guys they'll write books about in 10 years. Each one of these dudes will be in a book somewhere in the next 10 years. And to have them want to come down and strap up and run 26 miles with me, oh man, it was like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
And them boys push the pace. These guys are studs. I'm sweating and struggling, and my feet hurt. They call me a sissy the whole way. These dudes are just machines. They're meant to do one thing. It's like a Ferrari's meant to go fast. These dudes are meant to be awesome. Yeah. And it was just fantastic to run with them.
That's crazy. So what kind of training do you put in before you go on this thing? What are you doing? Man,
you just strap up, put that old tick on. You put the weight on and you put the miles in. You put 20, 30 miles a week in. Yeah. The more your body gets used to carrying that weight, that you get that muscle memory. Mm-hmm. You learn how to position your back, how to shuffle your feet, how to breathe, because everything changes. You go out right now and run 10 miles with just a pair of sneakers on, and then you put that and a pair of boots on and run 10 miles, where your whole body position, your whole everything changes. Yeah. So you have to relearn how to run without injuring yourself or destroying your knees or blowing your ankles out or getting some kind of lower back issue. So main thing is just putting it on, man. Just put it on and go.
Pushing it.
Push, dude.
Pushing it.
Push it. When it hurts, you're doing it right.
That's awesome. I remember telling you when you first told me about this, I was like, "Hey man, they've got these packs with these hikers use to train with, and you can slide plates on it." And you're like, "It's not supposed to be comfortable, man. I don't want to be comfortable doing it." I'm like, okay. I'm like, I didn't even register to me that it was about that's part of it. But,
no, you don't ask a downhill mountain biker to use training wheels. We're Rangers, dude. Yeah. We're Army Rangers, man. We are designed to be one thing. We are tough, not smart. Hard, not smart, man. That's just what we are. We are hammers. We hit nails and we drive nails. What we do, man. If we're gonna do something and we're gonna do it easy, we're not gonna do it. Yeah. There's a right way and a wrong way, and to do it the hard way with the issue boots, not with custom made boots, and with the rucksacks that those dudes are wearing overseas fighting. We want to wear that. Yeah. Same load, same Same everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's a different mindset. Different mindset than what I've got. Different mindset than what most people have, but that's what separates you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So when did the Army happen? You're 22 years old. You're still doing charter boats.
Yeah, I was, man, one of them kind of lost my way deals, man. You know, I didn't know what I was doing, didn't know what I wanted to be. My family all came out of the trades. They were all boilermakers and welders, and that didn't fit me really well. I wasn't quite disciplined enough. Charter boat life was good, but I felt like I needed something different. My grandfather was a World War II veteran, hero, 2nd Armored Division, Hell on Wheels with General Patton, Normandy, Battle of the Bulge. Grandfather was a war hero. You know, and I felt myself going down a bad path, and I said, man, the best thing to do, maybe go get straightened up, let Uncle Sam slap me around a little bit. Maybe I won't be such a beach bum, you know?
Yeah.
So I enlisted at 22 years old and off to Fort Benning, Georgia for infantry training.
So how does one become an Army Ranger from just going to infantry training?
Man, you know, Rangers, we have a saying, it's sua sponte. And sua sponte basically means that it's of your own accord. It means that we're volunteers. Mm-hmm. So my original contract was to go to 82nd Airborne. I had a paratrooper or an airborne contract. So my original path was to go to basic training, go to jump school, and then go to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, become part of the 82nd All-American out there at Fort Bragg. Well, in the interim, when I got to jump school, they sent this big, grizzly, mean dude in a black beret and press fatigues, looked like he could chew through steel. You know, this dude looked like the meanest dude on the planet. And we all knew what he was, and we knew what he was there for. And this dude commanded respect. You know, he there wasn't a dude in that building was going to jack with him because you knew he'd eat your soul. He was just that guy. And he addressed the company of men and said, hey, if anyone wants a shot at being an Army Ranger, step inside this room right now and volunteer. You have to volunteer to go to this. There was about 6 of us that, you know, thought we wanted to give it a shot, me being probably the smallest guy. And we went in there and looked, and at the end of the conversation, 2 of us signed the paperwork that we wanted to go to RIP, which back then it was called RIP, Ranger Indoctrination Program. Now it's called RASP, which is a Ranger Assessment Selection Program. They just changed the name. I think the criteria in the school has changed a little bit, but back then it was RIP in the 90s. Didn't know.
What year was this exactly?
This would have been 97.
97, okay.
This would have been 97. So not knowing what I had just done or what I just signed myself up for, I agreed to go be a Ranger. Jump school was only 3 weeks long. I didn't know what that meant, but I had found out later that I'd signed something that was going to deliver a lot of pain to my small body at the time. So you go through jump school and you jump. Your final day at jump school is a jump in front of your family. Your family's in bleachers and you jump out of a 141 or 130, whatever the aircraft is, and you land on the LZ there, and you shuffle up to the front of the bleachers, and they pin your jump wings on you. You're now airborne qualified. Proud day. Families are all there. Families get their kids back for the weekend. My family's there. My dad, my stepmother, my sister, possibly my grandmother. This is a big day. I'm going to spend the weekend. I haven't seen my family in 15, 16 weeks. You know, I'm a soldier now. I'm from a long-haired hippie. Showed up at boot camp with a blonde mohawk with a 7 in the back of my head. It's a whole nother story. A great story. I was glad to get my head shaved. Anyway, you know, you get your wings and you go back to the barracks and you're going to go spend the weekend with your family. Not me and that other poor soldier that signed that paperwork. That big angry dude was there, and he was much louder and much angrier than I remember him. And he had a flatbed truck, and all he was yelling was, King, King, King. And there's thousands of people. I'm like, man, whoever he's after is in trouble. Whoever this King guy is in a bind. Well, lo and behold, I happen to be that guy. And they'd already communicated to my family that we're going to give him back to you, but for about 6 hours, we're going to go make his brain into mush before you get him. I didn't know that. All I knew was this guy was searching for some dude named King that turned out to be me.
Some poor bastard.
Some poor bastard named King. Well, about 3 or 4 miles down the Ranger compound from jump school down to the 75th Ranger Regiment headquarters, which is at Fort Benning, where he's up, he's down, he's up, he's down with 250-pound duffel bags, yelling and screaming for about 2 hours before I finally made it down there, when I realized that this was not going to be easy, nor was it going to be fun. signed a bunch of paperwork, told I was useless, crushed my soul for about 4 or 5 hours to see if they can make me quit before they wasted any of their time or money. And they released me for the weekend. And then after that, when I came back, it was on like Donkey Kong, brother. It was on. I mean, you want to be the best, you got to train with the best. And they weed a large percentage out.
Yeah.
Something else.
How long's the training for Ranger?
RIP's not long. RIP is just an indoctrination program. That's just to find out, are you enough to get into regiment?
Okay.
So let's say, if my memory serves me, it's only like 3 weeks.
Okay.
So then, back then we didn't wear the tan beret like the Rangers do now. We wore the black beret. So you get your Ranger scroll and your black beret, man, the day you graduate RIP. And I just remember being there graduation day in front of my family, and 3 weeks of hell, dude. I'm talking about like hell I didn't know existed. To don that black beret and put that 3rd Ranger Battalion scroll on my left shoulder, man, that was a big day. And the guy that pinned me was one of my basic training drill sergeants, and the significance was that his combat patch was from the same unit my grandfather was at World War II with.
Wow.
One of the only times I've ever seen anyone with a 2nd Armored Division Hell on Wheels patch.
Yeah.
So to me, there was some synergy there.
Yeah.
Full circle kind of thing. And then when you step foot into battalion and you get your platoon, your squad, that's when it starts.
Yeah.
Because those boys have got about a year to break you. Whether it be physically or mentally, they've got about a year to break you down and prove that you're not worthy of that spot. And as soon as they can prove it, you're gone to Korea.
It.
You're gone.
Gone to Korea.
Gone to Korea.
What does gone to Korea mean?
You're going to Korea. Like you are going to Korea.
Okay, literally. All right.
Literally going to Korea.
Okay.
Yeah, like
that's where they send the Ranger outcasts?
Yes, they're called RFS. And if you RFS, you can't cut it. They broke you and proved that in a time of need, when it got real, you couldn't handle it, whether it be mentally or physically. You get RFS, you get released for standards, and you go to Korea. I don't know where in Korea. I never went. I got to stay.
You don't try to find out about that, huh?
I got to stay where I was at. So
yeah, man, it's crazy. So how long were you in your military service? How long were you?
I did
there?
6 years.
6 years.
I did 4 years. I did another enlistment. Did 2 more. And the gut wrenching part is this would be my retirement year.
Yeah.
I would be retiring this year had I stayed, man. But I got happy feet, and I missed that boat life, and I missed Florida, and I missed fishing. And 6 years, I hung it up. I gave it up and went back home. Probably the toughest thing to deal with these days is I feel like I missed a lot. I feel like there's a lot I should have been there for. I feel like there's a lot of buddies that went overseas that I could have helped. I could have been there. I could have. Who knows what I could have done? Who knows what would have happened? I may have gotten hurt over there myself, but. I made that decision. Instead of retiring this year, I'm still hard at it.
Yeah. So when you were in when 9/11 happened?
I was in. I remember that in the barracks. I remember seeing it happen, and I remember knowing that it was go time.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the barracks with my brothers and watching it on TV and trying to shake off a hangover and figure out what was next.
What was that? I've always wondered this. The pre-9/11 Rangers, the elite, you elite guys, but there wasn't necessarily a conflict going on to be ready for, right?
No.
You're always prepared, obviously, but there wasn't an enemy that this is what we have,
Right.
So that pre versus post 9/11 was kind of a drastic change.
It's a different change because instead of training for the unknown like we did in the 90s, the boys nowadays, they don't train with the thought of maybe going to war. They don't train with the possibility of war. They train with the absolute certainty that they're going. And they call us mold scrolls. We wore the scroll on our left shoulder, and we were older cats, so they call us mold scrolls. And we definitely had it easier. We trained hard. We trained to fight, and we gave it everything. And our training cycle was very demanding, and we were always at the range putting rounds down range. We were always running. We were always fighting. We were always grappling and fine-tuning ourselves. the boys now, I mean, when they join the military now, they know where they're going.
Yeah.
You sign up, that guy comes into airborne school and he's asking for volunteers to become a Ranger. Not saying that we weren't brave to volunteer back then, but the guys that volunteer now, they got salt.
Yeah.
They got it in their soul, in their heart. They got warriors' blood in their vein. They're ready to go fight.
Yeah.
I commend them, dude. I think, I don't know. I mean, I always considered myself a stud back then, but had there been an active conflict going on, had it been a different time, would I have still raised my hand? Yeah, I wanted to be the best, but I don't know.
It's tough, man. That's one thing I've always thought about. And one of the things I wanted to bring up having you on here was that pre and post 9/11. It's a different world, man. It's hard. I was in 7th grade, 8th grade when 9/11 happened. I remember being in a language arts class, and my teacher was the wife of a soldier of some sort. I can't remember what he was or what he did, but he was in the military in some capacity. And they were not allowed to turn on the TV or turn on the radio or whatever, as came down from superintendent or whatever. You can tell the students what happened, but we're not going to show anything.
Right.
Because it was still active going on. There was people still, jumping out of the building and everything. We've all seen the pictures and the videos. But she turned on the radio anyways, and she was in tears, and she was, something's going to resonate with me forever just because how emotional she was.
Yeah.
And she was always a mean old lady. You know what I mean? She was just one of those teachers, one of those mean teachers. But that was a different side of her he'd never seen, right? And we were halfway through the semester of the school year, and this hard lady that's always, on to everybody is in tears and talking about the significance of what's going on. And I remember going home after school that day and turning on the TV and just watching. And mom was trying to get me off. I was like, no. I was like, I want to watch. I want to be able to remember this, whatever. I made it a point. I remember at that age. But the before part of that, you don't understand. Like, I was too young to understand that how much was going to change just going through the airport, or just the national security things that everything that came out of that, and
the amount of wounded and broken that come home every day.
Yeah.
To see someone with a prosthetic leg or a prosthetic arm, that don't catch your eye anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're so numb to it. You see a guy or a female, with a prosthetic leg, you don't wonder anymore what happened.
Yeah.
It's just every day.
Yeah.
We blow it off.
That's true, man. You see people like that and you're like, oh, that's a serviceman.
Right.
Or a servicewoman. It's true. It's true. Yeah, man, it's a crazy thing that kind of in our lifetime. That'll be the one thing that always stands out, our big Pearl Harbor or whatever, D-Day. For
our Vietnam.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. So what happens when you, I'll go back to making the decision to leave. You say you're just missing home?
Yeah, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what happened. It just felt like it was time. I wanted to get back on the charter boats. I'd always had this dream of owning my own boat.
Yeah.
And having my business and being, Captain Brad and doing it my way.
Yeah.
Not that the way I'd seen it done wasn't fantastic, but I wanted to do it for me. I wanted to drive and be the best charter boat in Florida. And
you had the money to do it now.
No. No, I never had the money to do it. I just had the want to.
Okay.
So I ETS out of the military and I went back home. And the funny thing is the boat that I grew up on, the Gambler boat, which is an iconic boat back home in Pensacola, which has since been sold and no longer in business. I called the owner from the military, Buzz and Lynn Pitts, man. They've been like mom and dad to me my entire life. And I called Captain Buzz and was like, hey, I'm out.
Captain Buzz, that's a fucking awesome name.
Oh, brilliant name.
It's a fucking awesome name.
I'm coming home. And he's like, well, when are you coming home, son? I was like, I'll be home Saturday. And he's like, okay, be on the boat at 4 o'clock in the morning and have everything ready. I'll be there at 5. Like the day I stepped foot back in Florida, I was back on the back deck of the Gambler.
Wow.
Chasing red snapper again, and it was on.
Yeah.
It was back to like I'd never left. Grow the hair back out, get back into surfing and being a hippie. And kind of start compartmentalizing everything else. And here we go. We're fishermen again.
How good a therapy was that?
Fantastic, man.
That's
wonderful.
what I'm thinking, man.
I ran around the beach for a couple years and acted a fool. Bad fool for about 2 or 3 years.
28 this time?
28, yeah.
28, 29?
Yeah, 28, 29, exactly. Ran around, acted an idiot. Got it all out of my system. Had a really good time, went back to charter boat fishing. The only thing that changed is charter boat fishing was more seasonal. It wasn't something you did year round anymore like it was when I was younger.
Okay.
Now it was a seasonal job with new restrictions on snapper and triggerfish and amberjack. All the new restrictions came in. You couldn't fish year round to make money.
So is that like U.S. Fish and Wildlife coming out with those restrictions?
It depends on the fish that are federally protected, like your red snapper and your amberjack that are federally protected, and then you have your state protected fish, and they set limits.
But that's what drove the seasonal change, though. Okay.
And then Florida obviously is tourism, and from March to August, we're hauling butt because you guys are all there spending oil money, and we want to capitalize on that. Yeah. And that's when y'all are there. Yeah. And when y'all leave, we ain't got no money to spend. Y'all are gone. So that's our months, and then you coincide that with strict fishing regulations, and we become seasonal. Yeah. So we fish 6 months a year, and most of us do construction. Which is how I ended up in the construction game. Was winter gigs. Just kind of got more serious over time.
Yeah. So construction, I mean, what are you doing in Florida construction-wise? Is that home construction?
No, man, right when I got back, I actually got a job building high-rise concrete condos. Okay. So I went to a job trailer at the end of the fishing season, and I asked the guy, his name's Tick Hodges, and I remember asking him, I was like, you have anything? And he's like, no, man, I ain't got anything available. I was like, all right, well, I just got out of the military, I'm looking for a job. He stopped me at the door, and he was like, wait a minute. I was recon. Back in the day, I was a long-range surveillance guy in the Army, Vietnam era. What'd you do? I knew then I had him. Yeah. I was like, U.S. Army Ranger, sir. And he's like, be here in the morning, 5:45, steel-toe boots, jeans, T-shirt, ready to work. And he put me behind a concrete chipping gun for 4 straight shifts. Whew. Bring down a 4 foot by 4 foot by 8 foot tall concrete pile that had been poured in the wrong spot. And I sat behind a chipping gun for 4 days for $7.50 an hour, chipping that column down. Yeah. And I remember when it finally get down, he showed me how to set up a set of torches, and I cut the rebar down, and I swept up a mess and cleaned it. And he walked up and he said, "Why don't you go home tonight, buy a tape measure, speed square, carpenter's pencil, and a hammer. Tomorrow you make $8 an hour, and you're now a form carpenter. I'll see you in the morning." And I worked my way up the ladder with that company all the way till I was a lead surveyor for a while. And then I went from there to being one of their electric tower crane operators for a while. Became a crane operator for them.
I'm laughing because all the damn stories, man, fucking 7,000 pounds of concrete getting poured in the wrong fucking spot.
Oh,
it's
man.
just, the same shit when we're working out in the refineries and shit. We're hot tapping the wrong fucking line. We're doing, it's just God,
breaking the wrong set of flanges.
Yeah, how do we fuck this up, boys? I mean, it's just like,
we're
come on,
construction hands, not rocket scientists.
Yeah, that's true. Pretty soon it's going to be all robots and engineers behind the helm. So
yeah,
enjoy it while it lasts.
Most engineers are already robots, little rascals.
I had a thought. You seen that cartoon Refined, right?
Yes, love it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a cartoon about refinery work, right? And they got, it's just kind of stereotypes and this and that's pretty funny. But I had an thought about doing, trying to do a couple episodes and this and that. And my engineers were going to be like a little dust cloud of puppets with little heads popping up and down. It's like, me, 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 me. And then when they go by a job site and they're on a big crowd of white hats and they go bobbing, and then a piece of paper flies out and that's your work scope for the day. That was going to be my
how they deliver it.
Yeah.
And this overthought for you. Bye.
Yeah. So where did the oil game come into play? How did you make it down to Texas?
Man, that is an absolute accident that I ended up in the oil game. The funniest story ever. I mean, I've had a pretty wild ride, and I've done some pretty fun stuff all over the planet, but oil, accident number one, dude. So I'm in Key West. I'm living on a boat called the Audrey D. I'm running a charter boat for a guy named Andy Griffith. Not Andy Griffith of TV lore.
Yeah, not the TV show.
And the name of the daggone marina was Mayberry.
God, get the fuck out.
I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even kidding you. Go to the website, fishandy.com, and it's still there. So I'm in Key West on a boat called the Audrey D, running 3-day charters out to the reef, living on the boat, cooking meals, cleaning fish, 3 days at a time, right?
Yeah.
I'd come back, give my carcasses to the guys next door. They'd give me lobster and change for my carcasses. I'd eat lobster and steak. I'd fit the boat, and then I'd head back out for 3 days. Well,
terrible fucking life.
It was miserable. It was so horrible.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
So my father is in the game. My dad, Boilermaker welder, went up the chain, and my dad's a supervisor with Fluor at the time.
Okay.
And my father has one of the biggest projects ever at Galveston Bay Refinery, where you and I work together. And he calls and asks, like, hey, do you need some work or something? What are you going to do for the winter? I was like, I don't know, Dad. I haven't thought about it. Maybe I'll find a condo to work on, because that was my background. He's like, well, here, send your resume to this guy. He's looking for some people. Maybe he can help you. By the time I didn't know what a resume was, so I went on, and filled one out. And in the surveying game in concrete, we're called field engineers, which is the title we are giving by the civil companies. We're the layout guys. We shoot in the piles. We lay out the columns. We lay out the forms. We're field engineers. So I sent my resume to Texas as a field engineer, which is a surveyor. Well, the guy calls me and he's like, hey, Brad, I got your resume. It looks really good. We like the fact you got military experience. You seem like you're dedicated. We'd like to offer you X amount of money, which at the time was $15 an hour more than I'd ever made as a crane operator. I thought that was like doctor money, which turns out it wasn't. But to me, it was like, holy cow, I'm a surgeon now. I'm making surgeon money, which looking back now, it wasn't that much money. But to me, it was substantial. Dude.
Yes.
I was buying yachts, airplanes. It was on.
Yeah. Holy shit. Look at all this money about this
shit.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? There's 2 digits in that hourly wage. This is crazy. So I told the owner of the Audrey D, I was like, I'll be back in 6 months when the season starts. So I left Key West and I drove to Houston, all the way to Houston. I get to Houston.
How far is that fucking drive?
Dude, 2 days for sure.
Yeah.
I stopped Pensacola at home. I still had a place there, so I had a life there, and I stopped there for the night and then drove into Houston the next day. No air conditioner, no radio, my old beat up Dodge. Fisherman life, we don't have nice things. You think we do, we don't. So I drove all the way to Houston. I get to Houston, link up with my dad, some of his friends. The next day I go in to see the guy, and he's like, he starts talking these weird words like P&ID and isometric, and I'm like, dude, this guy thinks I'm a chemist. What the hell do I know about mixing chemicals? I don't know what the hell an isometric is. This dude's a banana. So he's like, he looks at me all crazy, and he's like, well, you're a designer. He's like, why do you not understand these terms? I was like, I'm not a designer, dude. I'm a field engineer. And he's like, yes, I know. You're a designer. I'm like, no, I don't know anything about making clothes, man. I'm not a designer. I'm not a fashionista, dude. I am a civil layout guy. And the room gets quiet. He's like, you're a layout guy? He's like, yes, I'm a surveyor or a crane operator, depending on what you need. I can do either one. Whatever you want to pay me the most to do.
Or a crane operator. This dude's expecting a fucking engineer.
Right. Here I am, freaking blue collar as hell. And he's like, well, field engineer where we come from is a pipe designer. Oh shit, hell no, I don't know nothing about O-beam. I still to this day don't know nothing about O-beam. And he's like, we got a bond. He's like, can you run Excel? I was like, I don't know, 7-minute mile, 8-minute mile. I was like, I'd never heard of Excel. I'd never heard of PowerPoint. I'd never heard of Primavera. I damn sure didn't know what P3 was. I thought P3 was a snack bar. And he just looked at me. He's like, how far did you drive? I'm like, Key West to here. He's like, oh boy. Well, they took a shot on me.
Golly, that's
right,
crazy.
took a shot on me.
Yeah.
And then a year later.
It's like, well, you're here.
Right, you're here. You're a body. A year later, man, I'm a project controls guy working in Primavera, proficient in Excel and PowerPoint and all these things, attending major meetings.
Yeah.
And was the sole person responsible for reporting progress back to BP London on how the project was going. I'm using words. I don't even know what the frick a heat exchanger is, but I'm using it in a sentence. Fake it till you make it, man.
That's what I said. Needless to say, you're a good bullshitter. If nothing else we're getting from this story right here is you can bullshit your way through the best of them.
Whatever it takes.
Either that or there's some incompetent motherfuckers that are in charge of you.
I passed the piss test and I could BS. I got the job. So Fluor hired me as a project control specialist too, and they took a shot on me. And man, after that project, it was a 2-year project. They actually sent me to school. They sent me to Sugar Land. They sent me to Project Managers Academy, construction managers courses, 3 or 4 scheduling courses, and P3 and P6 and P6 Advanced. And they even sent me to Baton Rouge to take over a company for them as director of operations. I don't know where Baton Rouge was out on the map, but I went over there for a year.
Hippie from Florida. Just trying to make it. Trying to make it. Try not to wear wingtip shoes and slacks. Dude, I didn't know. That's a fucking great story. Unbelievable.
Anyway, that's how I ended up in the oil industry.
Just like that.
I don't see why it's so hard.
Well, this shit, dude. Just getting people to show up and fucking be sober is hard enough, right?
I think that was probably the only thing I had going for me.
That's what I'm saying. You can get a long way just doing that.
Yeah, just doing that for sure.
Being reliable, it goes a long way in the oil game.
Yeah.
So were you still going back and forth between boats and oil business at this time? Or were you straight?
I was straight oil business.
Yeah. From then on, you never went back?
Never. No, I did. I started my business.
Okay.
My charter boat business.
Then you got the money.
I had the money.
Then we started getting the doctor money.
Then we started getting that money. So I stayed with Fluor I stayed with them for about 4 years, and I traveled with them, and I went. I went from Texas to Baton Rouge, and I continued going to school, and then I went to a job in Atlanta for a while, and I was out in ATL for a minute working at Vinings on a combined cycle power plant, and then they moved me to another place, and the whole time I was getting the itch. To get back on the boat. I was getting further and further and further away from me, and I wanted to get back. So in 2009, after all the money that Fluor had spent on me, I drug. I was like, hey guys, I'm done. I'm going to go back to Pensacola and I'm going to start my business. And they appreciated it. They respected it. And I did. I went back home to Pensacola, which I had still maintained a home and a life there through all this traveling. I went back and I bought a boat and I started what ended up being South Again Charters in Pensacola, Florida. And I went from, in 5 years, I went from 0 trips to 200 plus trips a year.
Wow.
I went to, I was making it.
Yeah.
I had started a business from scratch, naming the logo in the boat, and with the help of some of my friends and, in the area, throwing me charters when I needed them, I built it to one of the top charter boats in Pensacola. I'm not going to say the top because there's some dudes there that run trips, but I'd say top 10 boats as far as trips ran in the inshore game. I was in the top 10 for sure, if not top 5.
Captain King.
Dude, Captain Brad, man. I got desserts named after me now. The Monty Bradwick.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you can't just say that all brushingly like you got a dessert named after you.
So I had these amazing women that used to fish with me every year, and one was from Boston, one was from Pensacola, one was from Alaska, and one was from basically Canada. And they would meet every year in Pensacola and book me, and I would take them, for a couple of days of fishing.
Were you shirtless?
Depending on the tips and how much was offered up.
You were shirtless. You ain't got a lot of me.
We were talking about desserts one day because all these ladies were amazing bakers, and I told them how good it'd be to take like Sara Lee pound cake, cut it into pieces, smear the middle with peanut butter and honey, and then deep fry it and put confectionate sugar on it. Well, they told me that there was something similar called I don't know, it's famous. I can't think of the name of it, but they made them for me the next day and brought them to me, and they called it the Monty Bradwick, and I ate the whole pan. It was
Is that the Monte Cristo, maybe the original?
Hey, I don't know. I'm about to Google that.
I'm not a dessert connoisseur, I guess. Fucking desserts named after you. Women throwing themselves at Captain Brad.
Never.
Don't you lie to me.
Never did that.
Don't you lie to me.
No, I fished hard, man. I came to the boat every day, which was my dream, was to be me. To be silly and crack jokes and to entertain people. I entertained people more than I put fish in the box. It got to be where if you saw the Red Rocket, which is what everybody called my boat, more after the boat, less after the dog. But if you saw the Red Rocket, People would fish next to me just so that I would entertain their clients, because I had the happy fish dance, the big fish dance, the sheep's head dance, the crab dance, the shrimp dance. I had all these dances I would do on the deck of the boat. I guess it was like a Iconelli freaking remix. I don't know, but I just had a blast, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it every day. I had so much fun out there, and I just laughed all day.
200 trips a year is a lot, man.
It's a bunch,
That's
man.
a lot.
And you cram that into 4 months.
Oh, that's even more.
That's the thing, because you go back to the charter days.
How does that fucking work? Was it what you do 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening?
Yeah, if not 3.
3 days.
I got friends back home now and run 3 a days in the summer. Because if you think about it, so if you look at the tourism season in Florida, you've got spring break, March. You got nothing in April. You got nothing in May. And then you got June, July, and half of August, because kids go back to school like the 15th of August, second, third week.
Yeah.
So that 10 weeks is when you make 80% of your annual salary. So you run every trip you can. You'll run a 4-hour trip, and a 2-hour dolphin cruise, whatever it takes to make it, because you make all your money right then.
How do you logistically do all that?
Oh.
Like, did you have somebody planning all this stuff for you?
No, it's you.
Your phone calls?
It's you.
Did you have a website?
Yeah, website. I had 3 websites. I had Facebook, I had Instagram, I had Twitter, YouTube channel. This is back when we realized that YouTube was like the biggest search engine other than Google.
Yeah.
We just started figuring all this out.
That and Pornhub.
Right. Well, Pornhub. I wasn't on there yet.
That was a dark 6 months.
That's later on. So yeah, I had everything, and then you managed all that. So you get up at 3 in the morning, go fuel the boat up, stop by the bait shop, get all your bait, go launch the boat, run the boat to the marina, prep leaders, tie tackle, get the boat cleaned up and dressed up and ready, cooler space ready, pick your clients up, and then you've got 4 to 6 hours, depending on what they've paid for, to show them the best time you can, catch as many fish as possible, get them back on time, clean their fish, bag their fish without making them feel pressured like you're trying to get rid of them. And then as soon as they leave and they give you their tip and they give you the promises, we're coming back every year, and you do your social graces with them, then you got to sprint down to the boat, rinse all the fish gut, fish bloods, make everything look brand new for the next family that's going to get there at 2.
Yeah.
Then take them out, from 2 till 6, 2 till 7, come back, clean the fish, then trailer the boat, take the boat home, clean the boat, clean the rods and reels, clean everything so it looks brand new the next morning, then go inside, upload all the pictures and write the report and put on all your social media so you get more clientele, and then answer all the emails and phone calls you missed that day, and then call your trips for the following day and make sure they're still good and they're not backing out on you. So about 10 o'clock, you finally rack out, and then 3 o'clock a.m. you're up again. That's why turnarounds are so fun for me, because they're easy.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Charter boating's like 3-4 months of it. Turnarounds, all we do is walk around with a radio.
That's it.
It's easy. Design pipe and stuff.
That's a good shit. Yeah, especially when I'm just fucking surveyor or a crane operator, whatever you need,
Whatever
man.
you need, man. I don't care. I'll sharpen pencils.
Oh man, yeah. So that was a dream, huh?
That was it, dude. That was a dream. I made it.
That's rough.
I was Captain Brad King, South End Charters, Pensacola, Florida, dude. I made it.
You had it. That was it.
Dude.
Done.
Yeah.
Life's great.
Life's great.
What changed? Why'd you quit?
Daggone refinery money, man. I would come out here in the winter months. So 2000, man, I can't remember what year it was. 13 or 14. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
A friend called and they were looking for a coordinator. Coordinate work for, my boss now, Mr. Glenn. So I said, man, I've never coordinated. Project controls, I never coordinated. He said, come on out, put you on night shift, you coordinate Sawcraft, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, I came out and I coordinated on nights at the Cat, and I had a blast. I enjoyed it. It was quick turnaround. It was like 4 weeks. I was back home.
Yeah.
I'd made a pocket full of money, and I floated through the winter easy. Normally in the winter we scramble back home, and we struggle to pick up charters, and we scramble to pay bills, and you live off of that money you made June, July, and August, and you try to stretch that all into March. Well, that's tough. If you don't have a secondary hustle, it's hard to make that money stretch.
Yeah.
And I found out that I could come out every year out here and make enough money in 2 or 3 months to get through the winter and be okay. So that became my annual thing. Everybody back home knew it. I was gonna run from March to August, I was going to surf all of September. I was going to hunt all of October. And then November, I was going to come out here, November, December, and January. And then I would go back home and surf all of February and then start chartering again in March. So it just became a thing.
Yeah.
And every year, BP back then would ask, hey, why don't you stay? We'll hire you on. Once you stay, we'll hire you on. Stay, we'll hire you on. Nah, I'm not interested. I'm living a dream. I've got, South Again charters back home. I'm not giving up my dream. There's no way. So I just kept hustling back and forth between the two.
That's not a bad little gig, though, man.
It's a great gig.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A couple, 2-3 months of turnaround work, and then summertime's on the boat.
It was awesome. It was
surfing and hunting. Where do you go hunting at?
Well, right there where I grew up in Pensacola, Florida. Like, what people don't know is, like, north of Pensacola Beach, like a mile is 1 million acres of public land.
No shit.
1 million acres, 500,000 acres on an Air Force base and 500,000 acres of state land. It's all free to hunt. You pay $30, 1 million acres.
No shit.
And in Florida, you can kill a buck a day every day, all year.
Dude, so I went to fucking, I drove somewhere. I'm trying to remember. It may have been Pensacola for spring break. Dude, there's deer all over the fucking road. You riding on the highway, there's herds of like 30 or 40 just all over the place. I'm like, look at all these fucking deer, man.
Yeah, no big ones. There's no.
No, they all look like the size of, large dogs.
Yeah.
But, they're deer.
Yeah.
And I remember that being a thing. You don't expect it. Especially they were all like along the highways. And I was just like, what the hell? But I was probably going through that little park or whatever, like you said.
Blackwater, there's a lot of it. So that's kind of what we do. I'm like the most confused redneck you'll meet. I've actually gotten up in the morning, taken my climber and my bow, gone into the woods, harvested a deer, thrown it in the bed of the truck, gone home, cleaned the deer and processed the deer, throw my wetsuit and my surfboard in the truck, run to the beach and paddle out, and then realize about halfway out that I'm soaked in deer blood in my wetsuit. That I'm now like just a big chumsicle. And people ask me, like, Brad, what's all over your wetsuit? I'm like, oh, I don't know. It was in a bed of, oh, man, I killed a deer this morning. Like, yes, I'm the most confused redneck when it comes to that.
That seems dangerous.
I wasn't smart, but I made it. Another fun story.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You're Point Break, dude.
All the way. I'm Brody.
You get it all over the place.
Yeah.
That's it's an awesome life you live for sure, but it's like, but you do whatever you want to do. That's what I love about you. Whatever I want to do, fuck it, I'm gonna go surfing in Costa Rica for a week. Going, hey, you know what would be badass? Going to Whistler and snowboard when I get done surfing.
Why not?
Yeah, so that's freaking sweet, man. So when did they actually get you in? When did they finally say,
man,
come on? And then you do you still have your boat?
Boat's here. Yeah, it's here. I have it here. I fish occasionally, nowhere near as much as I should.
Yeah.
Or used to. So the dream had gotten jaded a little bit.
Okay.
So I was having some issues back home, and the deal was I needed to quit traveling. I needed to quit traveling so much. So my thought process was, if I give up one charter season, and it was after Pipe Stills 3B. And if I give up one charter season...
Nobody knows what that means.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I know.
And I sell all my charters, and I still make a little bit of money from selling my charters. It should be 200 to 300 trips. I'm going to sell at 10%. I should make a little bit of money, and then I'll earn the loyalty of someone.
Yeah.
My thought process was stay a year and then buy boat number 2, and then hire a second guide to run with me, and then eventually get to the point where I didn't have to leave, where I could make enough money I could stay, and increase it to a fleet. So that was what I was going to do. I was going to stay for a year, shut the business down just for one summer. Shouldn't be a problem. My clients understood. I contacted my clients. I made it known that it's just one deal. Financially, I need this to make my business better. Everyone was on board. And then I was going to go back after that 12 months and buy a second boat, hire a young up-and-comer that had the same mentality as I did. It was fun, energetic, loved the job, make people laugh, and not just be one of them quiet, kind of captains. And then go from there building the business. I wanted to eventually buy a bigger boat like I'd grown up on, a 40-foot or better vessel. And I wanted to kind of hit both games, but I needed to start with two small
because you were
boats.
doing all inshore.
All inshore
charters.
Yes.
So y'all are hitting, what are y'all hitting over there in Pensacola? Trout, redfish, flounder?
You would think that would be it, but we actually fish in the Gulf more than we fish in the Bay. We actually do mackerel, king mackerel, and cobia, and amberjack, snapper, and grouper just as much as we do redfish.
No shit.
It's beautiful. We've got amberjack at 4 and 5 miles off the beach. We've got 20-pound snapper in our bay. We've got 15-pound gag grouper in our bay. We've got tarpon. We've got everything. So you end up fishing more big stuff, than you do just the typical pop and cork and trout fishing, which back home we don't trout fish very much. Yeah. There's only 1 or 2 guys that are good at it. The rest of us don't mess with them.
Not worth it when you hook it up to a 20-pound freaking snapper or grouper.
We have bull reds. We've got large bull reds year round. Yeah. Our bay is 50 to 60 foot deep in spots. So we can run out there and catch bull reds. We can catch snappers. We've got Spanish and king mackerel right at the mouth of the bay. We've got a lot of large fish that we can put clients on quickly. And as a guide, seasonally, okay, well, it's January. The bull reds are in schools in the bay. Okay, it's March, it's sheep's head spawn, we're going to go smoke sheep's head. Yeah. Okay, it's April, the redfish are on the jetties. It's May, it's time to go catch, amberjack. And then June hits, now it's red snapper season. So we targeted the most, that's what I'm looking for, the highest profile fish of each month, and that's what we stayed on year round.
That's what you're most successful at, and that's your best chances.
And a lot of them are super easy to catch if you know the when, the where, the why, and the how.
Yeah.
Then you can take that family of 5 that's never fished, and as opposed to putting them on a grass flat with lures casting, you put them in a situation where all they got to do is drop straight down, and then they can hook these fish up. So it simplifies it for them, simplifies it for me, and you catch way more fish. And they get to catch big picture takers as big, beautiful bull reds that, everybody likes to catch.
Yeah. What's the biggest difference between there and Galveston?
Depth, man.
Yeah.
Our water's crystal clear back home.
Yeah.
Anyone that's been to that part of Florida knows it's crystal clear in the bay. We sight fish a lot. We see our fish a lot. Fishing here is phenomenal. Yeah. The fishing here is good, but it's harder. I think to be a good fisherman here is a whole different game.
Well, it's, you're diving into the different months and seasons and locations and all that where all these fish are at. Well, all the best guys around here, the same thing. They know where all these fish are running and what and when and where and why. Exactly like you said. It's always been. It's just you got to be in it, brother.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Is I've obviously never fished in Florida or whatever, but I know here if you're not in it and you're just trying to go out a couple times a year to go catch a fish or whatever, and you hit, we had a good spot, here last year.
Yeah.
But it was June last year, and you're now fishing in October.
Yeah, it's different animal.
You're not going to have any of the luck. So you got to be in it, man. And I got some buddies that are in it. I know, my dad was my whole life growing up. He used to fish tournaments on the back of jet skis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he rigged up a little ice chest with the aerator on there and whatever, put his live fish in there, and he'd go race tournaments on the back of his jet ski and shit.
That's awesome.
We went to fishing shows. He invented a little hoot-dinger attached to the bottom of your rod called a line cutter.
Okay, yeah, I know that thing.
And you can put your hook on it and you're real tight, so you're not attached to the reel, attached to whatever. It's got a little razor blade in it, and you slide it and it cuts your line on that shit. Yeah. So he invented that in the early 90s, whatever. So when I was a kid, I got young memories of, remember we ran the fishing shows in Dallas, Houston, wherever they're at local that he could go, and he was selling his line cutter. So fishing was our thing growing up, you know what I mean? And he forever still, and my grandfather and my uncle, all them guys, they still go out all the time. But it was one of those things that never, it's just one of them, it never got me hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. That was horrible.
You're gonna call me out. You're gonna call me out on my own podcast, Brad. Fuck.
Sorry, that was hilarious.
But it's the same thing. I never really got the bug. I enjoy it, but I would enjoy more. We went fishing in Cancun over the summer with the wife and the kids and all that stuff, and I enjoy more just being out in the water and watching them fish and catch stuff.
See, that's the thing.
I just don't waking up 3 in the morning to go out and fish and catching a mess of trout is not my idea of a great day.
And on that same note, I don't do it for myself.
Exactly.
I'm not going to get up. I mean, very rarely back then or now, if it wasn't a charter or a tournament, I wasn't going just for the heck of it. I do it every day for a living.
Yeah.
I don't want to get up tomorrow and go freaking work at Primavera. I want, that's what I do for a living. Guiding actually jades you, and it gets you to the point where you don't enjoy it as much, which is part of the reason why I got out of it. But yeah, it's the same difference, man.
Have you ever thought about trying to charter down here?
I get asked that a lot, and no, absolutely not.
Or you think you're done chartering?
I'm done guiding. What I would like to do is, for a couple years, I fished on the Redfish Tour. I chased redfish tournaments from sea to shining sea, and I love that intensity. I love that pressure and that stress. And when I moved out here with the intention, and that's what I was going to do. Is I was going to have the time and the capability to travel and fish those tournaments. I ain't fished one tournament since I got out here.
That time thing is an illusion.
It's an illusion. Yeah. You hear 410s, and that don't ever happen either.
Yeah.
So that was my thing, was I could still stay in it and still fish these tournaments and still be competitive like I was. Last year I fished on the tour. I finished tied for third team of the year standings out of 75 teams. I thought maybe I had a calling.
Yeah.
I never fished. I quit fishing them too.
You ever bass fish in lakes?
Yeah, I grew up in Alabama. Don't tell anybody.
Hey, my dad's from Alabama. I was in Alabama a month ago for a wedding.
Yeah. I grew up in Alabama. So I grew up bass fishing and digging crawfish out of the creek to catch brim way before I ever got into saltwater in Florida.
Yeah. Do you do any here in Texas? We got some great bass lakes.
I have not, shame to say it, but I have not fully taken advantage of the resources you guys have here.
Yeah.
When I moved here, I was going to kill every exotic y'all have running around. Y'all got
good fucking luck.
Y'all got camels and stuff.
Yeah, good fucking luck,
zebras. Bud. I have not hunted one exotic.
Yeah.
I was going to fish from Port Mansfield to, I haven't done it. I get, how easy it is to get complacent, get lazy in your life. I live on the beach. I just get and then surf, and you gotta chase surf.
Your old surf bum's coming out, man.
Man,
just,
I am
on the beach surfing every day. Go to work, make a little money,
go surfing.
Fuck it.
Thinking Nicaragua this year.
What's in Nicaragua?
Surf offshore year round, like 360 days of offshores.
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, that's the spot, man.
How do you spell Nicaragua?
Carefully, very carefully. N-I-C-A, That would where I would start.
What's the big city in Nicaragua?
Oh, I'm looking at it's a place called Playa Colorados.
Managua?
Managua.
Oh, there you go.
That's where you fly into, and then you bus yourself to the west coast.
Dude, you got some dangerous shit right around Nicaragua.
Yeah,
El Salvador and Honduras.
It's sketchy.
Yeah, the motherfuckers crazy over there, man.
Yeah. Surface fire though, man. You got that giant lake Nicaragua there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Lake effect winds. So, in surfing, not to get too far into the cryptic talk, but offshore winds blowing off the beach towards the sea is what grooms the waves and makes them perfect. Wind blowing from the ocean to the beach creates a crumbly, less perfect wave. So Nicaragua, because of that giant lake, they get 360 days a year of offshore winds, which basically equals perfect conditions year round. And it's like Costa Rica was 20 years ago. It's not touristy yet.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear that a lot from people saying, "Oh, I love Costa Rica because it's not Mexico, right? It's not as cold, but
it's getting there."
That's exactly what I'm saying. I've been hearing that for 5 or 6 years, and everybody's going to Costa Rica. So obviously it's, losing some of that.
This last trip, I flew into Liberia. Typically to get through immigrations is like a 15-minute deal, 30 minutes maybe. It was like almost 2 hours to get through immigration, and it was all Americans. That's never, ever been like that.
What's the biggest waves you ever surfed?
On purpose or accidentally been stuck in?
But we'll go with both.
Man, I accidentally, on purpose, paddled out at Makaha when I lived in Hawaii.
Holy shit! I forgot you lived in Hawaii. We didn't fucking talk about Hawaii.
Yeah, I was in Hawaii.
Holy fuck! Okay,
so I paddled out.
Hold on. We gotta stop this. Let me pull this shit up here. And where the fuck's Hawaii at? When were you in Hawaii?
The latter part of my military career.
Okay. Oh, there it is. I was way far south. Latter part of your military career, you were stationed in Hawaii?
Yeah, Schofield
Okay.
Barracks, my last 2 years. I transferred from 375 to 125 and finished my tour up out there.
I bet you hated that.
I hated it miserably.
So where were you at?
I was on Oahu,
Oahu.
Schofield Barracks there, up near the North Shore.
Okay.
It was like a religious pilgrimage, and it was the easiest and cheapest and quickest way for me to get out there.
Was through the military.
Yes.
So was that on purpose? Did you request that?
Yes.
Like, wow.
Yeah. That was a horrible idea.
Why?
I went wild out there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bananas. I had to detox for 5 years after that tour.
God.
So Makaha is, to get away from that story, far away from that animal. Makaha is on the leeward side, super local spot, known as a big wave spot, like one of the original big wave spots in the world before people knew about Piahi, Jaws, and Maui, and before people knew about Mavericks, and before Chopu and Cortez Bank, before those were real places.
All those in Hawaii?
No, those are scattered all over the world. So before those places were ever found, Makaha was like one of the original big wave places. And this old cat picked me up one morning at daybreak, and he's like, "Come on, I got a board for you. Let's go. Makaha's firing." I didn't think to ask what he meant by firing. I didn't think to ask, "Why do you have a board for me?" Until we get to Makaha, and it's like 25 foot, and just so to put it into surfing terms, you would measure the backside of the wave, not the face. So if the backside is 25 foot, face is much larger. You know, you're looking 30-foot faces on a reef pouring in at 30 mile an hour. And I was stupid, and I paddled out with him.
I'm sweating right now.
Like, sure, let's go. Makaha's firing. And I got out there, and these giant mountains were doing 30 mile an hour trying to eat me. It was like the scariest thing I've ever been in my entire life.
What's the biggest wave you surfed before that?
6, 8 feet.
So what? Oh, God damn it, Brad. So you're full of deer blood going out surfing in the water.
Yeah.
You're out surfing by yourself.
Yeah.
And then the largest 6 to 8 foot waves you ever been at, and then you're like, oh, there's a house going 30 miles an hour.
Oh, this is bigger than a
stretching
house.
across the ocean.
Shallow, super shallow reef. Makaha is not the shallowest place in the world. It's not pipeline, but it's sketchy enough. I didn't need to be out there in 20-foot plus waves. But yeah, I paddled out at Makaha on a big day, and it took me a long time to make it back to shore. That was a long day.
How do you? So you're paddling out, right? And you got to get beyond where these waves are breaking at, right?
Yeah, you got to get behind them. Out back, we call it.
So how do you get there?
Well, in Hawaii, you're fortunate enough to have breaks in the reef. So
Okay.
the reef, the shallower water, is what causes the wave to break.
Okay.
So anywhere where there's a break in the reef, there is no reef, it's deeper water, and you get what's called channels. Hawaii is really good about having these channels, these areas of no reef, and the water is coming back offshore because all that energy and all that power breaks at the shore. All that water's got to run back out.
Yeah.
Well, it funnels to these areas where there's no reef, and it's like a river going the other way.
So it almost carries you out there.
Almost like a conveyor belt, right? So you can get in these channels as long as you stay in the channel and a weird swell doesn't swing and come through and wipe the channel out, you're okay. You actually get out there too quick because you get out there so quick before you realize you're in a bind, Then getting out there is one thing because that conveyor belt's going to sea. That conveyor belt don't have a downside that takes you back to the beach equally as quick. So now you either have to fight that current, that quarter mile back to the beach, which is difficult in that size sea, or you got to get your dumb ass in there and catch one of them behemoths and take it home, which now you got a quandary. You got an issue. What do I want to do? Do I want
to die exhausted trying to paddle up, or
and maybe get caught by a rogue set, or do I want to go over there and paddle into the freaking Mount Rushmore and just see what happens?
So did you try and paddle up on one of those waves?
I tried on the shoulder after several hours of sitting in the channel there, trying to figure out what to do.
Were there guys out there riding?
There was one other guy.
Oh God!
The guy that I paddled out with. The locals weren't even out, man. There wasn't one Howley speak. There was no one out there but he and I. None of that. Hey, cuz you made a mistake. Follow me, bruh. Oh, Howley, you stupid. None of that, dude. It's just me out there with him, and
What are you thinking at this time? I mean, like,
I'm
are you
thinking I'm gonna die.
shitting yourself
I'm
scared?
I'm gonna die.
Shitting scared.
Like, I would give anything right now to be at Sandy's or freaking Makapu or something, somewhere
not here.
somewhere, anywhere but here. It was like a day off. I wanted to surf. I wanted to have a great day. I didn't want to paddle out into. I didn't want to be freaking Laird Hamilton. That's his thing, not mine.
Dude, so what happens? You try and paddle up on this fucking monster.
Yeah, I was on he'd brought me aboard, and it was a gun. And a gun is what is built for big wave surfing.
Okay.
I had never been on a gun. Guns are long, they're narrow, they're pointy, they're built to be fast. Then they're built, when you paddle in, they're built to just rip down the face and get away. So I'm on this Vincente, which is a local shaper in Oahu, 9.6 Vincente, which is a gigantic board being built for gigantic waves. And you know, just a realization that, hang on a second, I'm at 20 foot plus Makaha on a hand-shaped gun in Hawaii with one way to the beach. It was like, crap. I've got to stroke into one of these things.
It's a pretty surreal moment for a surfer, I imagine, right?
It's pretty surreal.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you, obviously, someone who's into surfing as much as you are, that's kind of, is that dream come true stuff?
No, it's not what I thought it was come true stuff. It's like, you know, you fantasize about these waves and you see these guys do it and you're like, oh, look that hard. I mean, it doesn't. You know, you watch videos of Shane Dorian at Piahi and he's paddling into 40-foot faces and he makes it look pretty easy. You're like, I think I could do that. You don't think about the 3-minute hold time when you fall, you know, that he's trained his entire life for. You don't think about that. You know, you think about, I can hold my breath for 40 seconds. Well, 40 seconds isn't even the first wave. You're talking minute and a half, 2 minutes minimum if you fall down, but you got to hold your breath. Well, no one thinks about that until you fall down.
Oh, fuck.
And then 30 seconds into it, it feels like an eternity, and you're like, crap, now I'm going to die. So, no, it wasn't dream come true stuff.
Oh, fuck.
It was, I hope I live to tell this story on the Lone Star podcast one day. You know what I mean? This wasn't like, holy crap, I made it. I'm going to be on the cover of Surfer Magazine. No, this is like going to be on the obituary in the back of the Honolulu Times.
This is one of those things, you're like, if I catch this wave and I do it, there's one other guy here. It's like there's nobody even on the beach watching.
And he's behind me.
He can't even fucking see.
He's called 40. He don't give a shit.
No,
he just wants me to catch one. See, it took a lot of...
So what happened? What happened?
I soul searched. I may have cried. I don't know. I sat there for a very long time and I waited and I nutted up, you know, and I got myself ready and I paddled into, you know, not all the way to the line up to the peak of the wave, but to the shoulder. And these waves are so powerful that you can catch the shoulder where it's minimal. You know, if it's a 20-foot face at the peak, it may be a 10-foot peak out at the shoulder. It's much smaller because the water is deeper. And my thought process was, if I can catch one swing just right and kind of go whitewater on me after it pitches, then I can kind of take that to the beach. And that was what I ended up doing after, you know, you turn to paddle into a wave that size. And all surfers, when you look down the line, you look down the face of the wave, you're laying on your belly. So a 6 or an 8 foot wave looks huge. It looks like an elevator drop to the bottom to make your bottom turn. And these things, it just look like a free fall, man, like a parachute. You know, like how in the heck do you get all the way down there? And finally one whitewatered and came in. It gave me the opportunity, and, you know, I kind of took cheap road out and paddled in and rode that joker all the way to the beach, you know, most of it on my belly, just to get home and touch land and not ever paddle out in the 20-foot surf again. You know, I'm embarrassed to say that because I'm a surfer and we're supposed to be like, I'll surf anything, anytime, anywhere, but any surfer tells you that is a fibber. Because that's scary, dude. That's real stuff. Like, Mother Nature is a beast, and you get out there in that size sea and you realize just how bad a bitch she can be.
There's not a bone in my body that is interested in anything like that. I would love to go watch.
Dude, it's something. And when you're there and you feel them, when they crash and the beach shakes.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, even standing from there, just watching those things, I can only imagine. That's wild.
It's like Jurassic Park when the dinosaurs coming and you can see the glass.
Ripple.
I mean, when the waves tremble your cold beer, don't go. Just take advice from me, man. Write this down, jot it down. I don't know, put a memo on your phone. If the waves make your beer tremble, don't go. Stay on the beach. You don't belong out there.
So what were you thinking when you went out? When you saw it, because you said you didn't quite know what he meant.
We dawn patrolled.
What does that mean?
We paddled out before daylight.
Oh, fuck off.
So we paddle out in the dark. He knew the way. I mean, it's not like pitch black, but it's sun's coming up. It's dawn. And, you know, I'm just trying to keep him in my vision. And he's like, stay behind me. And you can off to the side.
What are these called? What is this place called you were at?
Makaha. Makaha. Makaha.
Makaha Surf.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of these fucking pictures of this. Well, they've got videos up, of course, but I don't want to. Beyond the Break? Is that a movie that shaped your life?
No. There's a lot of them that did. Endless Summer.
So, you tell me about that shit.
So, sat down in Costa Rica this last trip with freaking Robert August from Endless Summer. Yeah.
Look at that fucking model. Is that a 9-foot board?
That's
looks
big
looks
board.
longer than that.
Yeah. So,
unreal.
That's an iconic picture of Makaha.
Like that's a famous one or something?
So this is Greg Knoll.
Okay.
Is who this is. You can tell by the black and white shorts. Back in the 60s when all the Australians and Americans went to Hawaii, Greg Knoll was like the pioneer of big wave surfing.
Well, Hawaiian?
No, he's a California dude.
Yeah.
Greg Knoll was Californian, but he went out there, like there was this there's a movie called They Ride Giants.
Just came out a few years ago?
No, it's older.
Oh,
You're thinking Chasing Mavericks. But They Ride Giants is like almost like a documentary movie.
Yeah.
And it covers surfing from the dawn of time until now. And they go through that 60s generation of big wave pioneers that went out there.
Yeah.
And that's Greg Knoll. He's one of the guys. Yeah, that's Makaha. So it wasn't that big. It felt like it was that big.
That's
you don't need to be out there. It's stupid. There's really no need.
So them guys in the 60s doing all that stuff, what was surfing originated in Hawaii? I mean, when did that?
Yeah,
do you know?
It's all
kind of that story. Is it?
It's quite a few movies about it. And I'm no expert, so if I'm wrong, please don't call JP and jump all over him because I got my facts wrong. So founded by the Polynesians way back, and then spread by an Olympic swimmer from Hawaii that took his board around with him and shared it with Australia and Africa and everywhere he went. He took his board and shared it. You know, from what I understand, I can't remember his name right now for the life of me.
So what was because a lot of times sports or whatever come from there was a militaristic style to it, or wrestling, or even like rugby and football, soccer. All these were strategic war type games that people did when we weren't actually in war.
Right.
Where does surfing come from? Like, what was the point? Were they spearfishing?
I've read a lot of books and watched a lot of movies, and I don't think that it stems from anything like that.
They just did it for fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
From what I would hope, man, my dream is, in Hawaii, they chief on a little pakalolo and go out and catch a wave in the afternoon,
Yeah. I wonder.
I don't know. That'd be something interesting, but I've to my recollection, I don't remember ever hearing of it tying back to anything else other than just surfing, just riding waves. You do it, you understand it. It's just
there's awesome. Definitely it's a certain culture for sure, and the people that are involved are 100%. That's life. Yeah,
it's life,
and it's it's a strange thing. But you were telling me stories. Hawaii's rough to outsiders, huh?
Yeah, it's rough, man. The locals are tough there, and especially being a haole on the islands.
Haole being
a white guy.
Being a white guy.
If you go over there and you're respectful to their culture, Hawaiians are big on respect. Everything is based on respect. Number one, it's their island, it's their culture, it's their waves. If you go over there and you respect that and you let them bring you in, no problems. If you go over there and you're a hot-headed loudmouth and you're going to prove to the world that you're the best surfer on the planet, you're going to catch slap. You're going to catch Hawaiian slap, and you're going to catch it a lot. They don't play with disrespect.
Catch a beating.
Yeah, you're going to catch a beating.
That's a good old ass whooping, as we'd say in Texas.
They regulate over there, and they've got groups. Dahui is one of the most infamous groups from Hawaii, and they wore the same trunks, had the same tattoos, and they regulated the peaks at these popular breaks like Pipeline. And if you got over there and you took away from a local, or you cut a local off, or you said something disrespectful, these ain't no punks, dude. These are big, grown, fit men that do nothing but surf and fight every day. These aren't the dudes you want to fight with. And they run in packs of 12, And if you go over there and you mind your manners and you wait your turn for a wave and you let one of them tell you, oh, bro, it's your wave, and you work it that way over there, then I never had any issues. I never got beat up. I got threatened once. It was just a young punk, and an older local took up for me because I'd been respectful. But if you go over there running your suck, then you're gonna be Mr. Billy Badass in Hawaii, and you're gonna catch all the waves. You're gonna catch slap, and you're gonna catch slap quick. And they'll beat your ass in the water. They don't care. They hold their breath for freaking 6 days. They run around with rocks on the bottom of the ocean for fun. Or you're going to hit the beach and you're going to have to square off against them. And they are scrappers, dude. They don't play.
Well, I know that's where BJ Penn comes from. And he's got a gym down there with a bunch of killers, man.
Yeah.
Some bad boys.
You look up the Hui, or you look up, those guys. You don't mess with the Wolfpack. Wolfpack is a 90s generation gang of guys. Not gang, but they're just local boys that, they watch out for disrespect.
Yeah.
They may give you a warning. They may give you an open-handed smack or something. But if you're smart, you don't mess with the wolf pack. You don't mess with the Hui. You don't mess with none of them, man. Be respectful. Mind your manners. Wait your turn.
Yeah. Eesh. Hard to believe it's America, like you said.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
It's a beautiful place. It's a powerful place. It's a raw place. And as locals, I ain't mad at them. I mean, we came over there and took over and built condos everywhere and steadily taking their family land to spring up another franchise.
Yeah.
They're slowly losing everything that they care for, right? I'd be mad too, man.
Yeah.
And then to go paddle out at a wave your family's been surfing for 1,000 years, to have some 19-year-old kid from California snake you or smart off to you. Shit. You see people get thumped out at Galveston Island for a knee-high ankle bar.
But that's not just a Hawaiian thing, though, right? California is kind of the same way.
Yeah,
surfing culture, that everybody's
local.
If you're not local, you need to act right and act appropriate.
Yeah, I mean everywhere. I mean it's not bad here. It's not bad back home in Florida. Some places in Australia, some places in California are super localized.
Yeah.
But there's a etiquette to surfing, and you get a bunch of alpha males that are in great shape paddling around chasing the same thing, and you disrespect that etiquette too many times, more than likely you're going to end up,
Yeah, it seems like all the hot spots that have all the best surf that everyone knows about are in movies or are in competitions. We go surf competitions at this place or whatever.
Yeah.
And all the people that surf around the world, it's their dream to go surf these places. That's what they've thought about since they were 10, 11 years old. And then you go out there and you go on a surf and
it's not what you thought.
Act a fool.
Yeah.
And catch a slap,
Catch
as they
slap,
say.
Bro. I've had a few chances to catch slap and got lucky. Once in Mexico, I snaked a local. I didn't see him behind me, but he was very vocal about his wave. And if I snaked him again, we were going to the beach. I snaked a dude down in Costa Rica a couple years ago on a fabulous right-hand point break, and it was one of the best waves I'd had. And when I went to kick out, there was a dude behind me trying to catch me just as quick as he could. And we exchanged words all the way back out the back. I've had some opportunities, but, depends on how you handle it. The problem in those places, you're not just dealing with him. You were in the wrong already.
Yeah.
And then it's local. It's his spot. He grew up on it. You're there for a weekend. Apologize and paddle out.
Yeah, it's a crazy culture, man.
It is.
But it's pretty common. It's well known, right? You're not the first person or place I've heard that from, right?
No.
So, when how was being in the Army at that time and doing all that stuff? I mean, weekends off or whatever, you just go catch the surf?
For sure. Weekends, government holidays, 4-day weekends, your block of leave time, you get your 2 weeks off every year. You just take full advantage of it, and you're 15 minutes from the surf,
Yeah.
We're close to North Shore, so 15 minutes, on a Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. You just spend it on the waves.
Did you ever consider moving out there permanently?
I thought about it. Yeah, I took a little short job on a charter boat out there, and I thought about making that my place. This is expensive. It's very busy. Oahu's a very busy place. I left there to, oddly enough, go back, to fishing and everything. So, no, I never thought about it. I actually haven't been back since then. I keep threatening to go back one winter.
Keep up with any friends back there?
A few friends. Not very many. Some locals that I got real close with when I was out there and kind of took care of me and kept me out of trouble. I'd like to now that I'm older and my skill set's a lot different. I'm a little more comfortable in the water and with a board and in different waves. I'd like to go back one winter and see how bad the North Shore smacked me down. Now I think I could handle her a little bit better, but I'd love to go back and do another winter out there.
Yeah, that's cool, man. God, you've been around.
Yeah, for sure.
You've been around. What was I about to say? I don't know. Lost my train of thought. Oh, the hunting.
Yeah.
Did you ever go hunting in Hawaii?
Never. Never. The pig hunting over there is really good, and there's access on Maui.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's a big, the new thing is for all these bow hunters is they're now going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because you can shoot as many axes as you want.
There's actually a few of the top named surfers in the world are actually really, really big time bow hunters.
Yes.
I mentioned Shane Dorian. Shane Dorian is an amazing bow hunter, and he's also a big wave pioneer and part of the momentum generation. But Shane Dorian is a big time bow hunter.
I know this. I listened to a podcast with. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he talked about. That's exactly what they talked about. He was a surfer and this and that.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about bow hunting and all that stuff. But yeah, so I think he may have been the guy that got Rogan over there, and then his whole group, he's got 6 or 7 real famous bow hunter guys that that's their big thing now is they love to go down there because fucking Axis deer meat's great.
Yeah,
there's no limit on them because they have no predatory animals there on the island, so they're becoming a problem and this and that. So they're like, yeah, come shoot them, and plus you're fucking spending a weekend or a week in Hawaii.
Yeah, you're in Hawaii. It'd have to be Shane Dorian. He's a freaking awesome dude. He's from idol from back in my younger days.
Yeah.
He's still a beast, man. Dude's amazingly fit. He's a killer surfer. He's an amazing hunter. He's got a son, Jackson, who's going to be freaking next John Florence. Dude, his son is amazing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal kid.
I feel like I may have a lot of surfer fans on this podcast and I'm going to disappoint them because I don't know shit.
It's all right. I'll
but
translate.
Between you and Brock, man, y'all think y'all got it covered. Have you ever done the wake surfing?
No.
Are you interested in doing wake surfing?
I have. I've been invited a few times and flaked both times. I really, really, really want to try it. It looks awesome.
We're going to have to. So I got a buddy that's just moved to Austin. He's selling wake surf equipment. He's selling boats and all that stuff or whatever, but he's right there off Lake Travis.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have to make a trip.
Yeah, I for sure want to try it.
We're gonna have to make a trip.
I hate to go out there and kook out and not be able to do it, but I'd love to try it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That whole little style and what they all got going on is pretty cool, man. When did you leave Hawaii? So you were still in the military. Was that the last place you were stationed?
When I went back to charter boat,
and then you went back from there.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy. Where do you go hunting in Texas?
I have some land up in Crockett, some family land up there. We had 1,200 acres. Turned it into a bow only lease. Got 7 like-minded guys. We're all super picky bow hunt enthusiasts, man, and we got some really fine animals up there. Really nice animals. I think another year or two we're gonna start harvesting some wall hangers.
There you go.
I think we took one off the property this year. One of the guys, Dink, took about a 150. Wow. Good animal.
Yeah.
And we've got some. He just checked cameras yesterday, as a matter of fact, and we've got some of our top animals mated. So we're excited. We're excited to see what they become next year. We got one called Sticker 10. I think you may have saw a picture of him, mainframe 10 with two 1-inch stickers off his left G1.
Yeah, I think you showed me a picture. Yeah,
he's going to be something next year, and I think he's only about a 3.5-year-old deer.
Yeah.
So if he blows up, he could be 160, 165 next year.
Y'all bow hunt?
Yeah, it's bow hunt only. We don't do anything else. We all hunt out of climbers.
When did you start bow hunting?
I started bow hunting. Man, I don't even remember. I want to say about 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But 2 of my best friends back home, Alan and Tyler, kind of got me into it. And once I took a deer with a bow, I haven't touched my rifle since.
It's addicting.
It is addicting, man.
It's addicting.
I absolutely love it. I passed on a lot of good animals. I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't imagine. I can't imagine hunting any other way now other than my climber, my bow, and just getting down and dirty with them.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the military.
Y'all got feeders set up?
Do not.
No.
We hunt travel corridors. We hunt natural paths. But no, we're not feeding. We're going to throw some protein at them this off season.
Just get them healthy.
Get them healthy, and we're going to do some food plots this year. That'll be the first time we've done any food plots out there. But no, we don't hunt feeders. We don't hunt over bait, which we don't have an issue with it. It's legal in Texas, and I got no problem with it. Just the style of hunters we choose to not do that. We're always chasing trails and acorns and movement. So if we put a feeder out, right, we would probably never sit it, and it would just become a place for the pigs.
Yeah.
And we've got cameras everywhere, so we see the movement of these
patterns
animals,
and all that stuff.
And we try to intercept them the old fashioned way.
That's cool, man. I've bow hunted 3 or 4 times. Never successful with a deer. I've shot a turkey.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, the turkey was cool. Shot at a doe twice and missed twice.
I've missed.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and I was 15 or 16 at the time when I wanted to practice as much as I should and all that stuff. And I'm gonna get back into it one day. It's kind of impractical with where we hunt now in my father-in-law's land in Amarillo up near there.
Yeah,
it's just so wide open. There's no cover. You can't really bow hunt.
Yeah, there's nowhere.
My brother-in-law Levi does. But he's a lot more skilled than I am. He's a lot more agile.
Yeah,
he can travel. He can do a lot more. And I think he's had some successful bow hunts out there. But it's tough to do, man. But the last few years, whatever, I take the boys and we go out there, but they don't have anything set up either. There's no blinds. There's no feeders. There's nothing like that.
You're just hunting.
Yeah. Well, there's some. He's a farmer. So he grows alfalfa hay.
Oh man!
And so these deer, there's alfalfa hay, there's wheat, there's peanuts, there's all this different.
You don't need to feed anything out there.
Exactly. So these are big, fat, healthy,
happy
deer, and there's a ton of them, man. It's really, really, really good deer hunting up there. I never thought about it growing up hunting. We always hunted, Hill Country Valley, Rock Springs, that whole area, whatever, and. That's what you thought, Southwest Texas deer, and the big deer, and this and that, or whatever. And I go up there, and I'm just like, good God, mule deer and whitetail. Just some monsters up there. So it's a good spot, man, and I'm happy to be teaching the boys how to hunt, kind of that way, not sitting in a blind and waiting. Like you said, nothing wrong with it, whatever.
Wrong with it at all.
But that's all I knew growing up. I didn't know that there was any different way to hunt besides getting in the blind and then the feeder goes off and watch deer come out and pick you one.
You're right.
So when I started hearing stories or watching shows or watching whatever, getting more into hunting and seeing that people were doing it differently, I was like, oh, well, that's a different way to do it. And then when we went hunting for the first few times at the father-in-law's place, I really didn't know how to do it. I'm like, okay, well, I know deer like this and like to do this, but also I'm not familiar with the terrain. I didn't know enough. But after being out there for 4 or 5 years, we kind of know where they're at. Yeah. And he's got some pretty good spots. And fucking bird hunting up there is crazy, man. Duck and geese and all that. The sandhill cranes.
Man, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but again, they're not quite set up for it.
Scouting's the funnest part of all of it.
Yeah.
Figuring out where, when, why, and all that. That's the funnest part of hunting to me. Is trying to outsmart that rascal and be where he's going to go before he gets there.
Yeah.
With a bow, you 100 yards ain't going to cut it.
No.
And a good bow hunter, 20, 30 yards is about all you want to risk. So you got to know where he's going to be, why he's going to be there, and then be there before he gets there.
Yeah.
With very little margin for error.
Dude, the most exciting time I ever had hunting was sitting up in a tree. Well, it was in a tree stand. Climbed a tree and sat up on a limb. And having those deer walk out underneath you.
Yeah, it gets your blood going.
Dude, so I've shot some pretty good deer and, had some successful hunts and all that stuff. But the most exciting time I ever had was sitting there. I was like, I could jump. And I did this rifle hunting one time too. And this was probably an even more exciting time. So there was I was sitting in a blind, and it was at this ranch we were at, and the deer were across. I could see them like down in there's like a hill, a little gully, and then they were up on top of this other hill or whatever. So, and I could see them. There was a big old herd of them, and they're all axes. And I was like, I'm gonna go out of this blind. I'm gonna start walking. And it's dangerous to do this sometimes when you're at a ranch hunting with different people, whatever, because you go walking around and other people are shooting. It's not very smart. But I was on a different like whole side. Like I was across the road. I was hunting. People got different land. I was across the road, kind of away from everybody else. So I felt comfortable in getting out and doing that. But so I walk down there. I go kind of go up the hill and I go down the little valley, and I could see a little game trail. And those deer were moving as I was moving, and they were coming into the field where I was at. It turned out to be, but I didn't know that at the time, right? But anyway, so I climb up on this old dead tree that's kind of fallen over, and I climb up on top of it because I'm trying to get up high so I can see where these deer at. And lo and behold, here come these 20, 25 axes come walking through from me to that wall. I mean, 20 yards. Man. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching them walk by, and I have my rifle. I'm a high-powered scope rifle that I can't really shoot 20 yards with this thing, right? So anyways, I decided I wasn't going to shoot anything, and I just kind of sat there and relaxed and watched these deer walk by, like for 15, 20. Never knew I was there.
Man, that's
never
awesome.
Nothing. And I was like, that's a successful stalk.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the first time I've ever done a successful stalk like that. And that's what I'm saying, dude. You want to talk about heart racing, pumping, pounding? That was more exciting than
any other. Come to a feeder.
Exactly. And I felt like, I got the better of those. And I knew what they were trying to do. I found the spot.
Could have killed any one of you wanted.
Exactly. And but like I said, I didn't feel safe shooting them up close or whatever. There was a big buck. He was coming. He was on the tail end, letting everybody go first, and he was walking back. But that was a really awesome experience. So that was my first little experience with that. And then actually, like I said, hearing other folks talk about it, and these dudes going on these month-long backpacking trips. That's a whole different breed.
That would be. I would like to do like a 5-day bow hunt, elk hunt, like horseback in. Yeah. And a friend of mine did one. He said it was one of the hardest things he's ever done. I would like to do that. Just to say whether I kill one or not, just to be out there with an animal that large in that big of an area and try to cut that thing off down to 30 or 40 yards. That's hard. Yeah. That ain't no joke. That's a big animal.
Yeah. And the freaking bears, man. God.
Yeah. See,
I like fuck with the bears.
Yeah. I don't want to mess with bears.
What was I going to say? My brother-in-law, my brother-in-law does that. That's his thing, is going backpacking, bow hunting. He's bears, elks, all the Idaho, all that stuff. That's his deal. Like, everybody's got a hobby. You go surfing and do your fishing and you're hunting. He only hunts.
That's it.
That's
his jam.
That's it. So, and he's very good at it, man. He's been on a lot of successful hunts, and he's got a lot of great animals. And I mean, it's pretty wild. But he stays in shape, and he's in the gym all the time,
right? Just to be ready for it,
purposely, so he can backpack. Hunting, which is it's a physical thing.
Yeah, that ain't no joke, man. Hiking all day long, and then when the time comes, you got to draw back 60 or 70 pounds and stay stable. You've got to be fit.
Well, but he was saying, I've been on a bunch of hunts, and I think he went to Idaho or something like that. He goes, then tracking through 12 inches of fresh snow, and he says, and you want to talk about wear your ass out? Yeah, that's freaking crazy, man.
Then you've hiked in. Now you got to process this animal. Pack this animal back out. It ain't like the helicopter comes and gets him, or the farmer whose land you're on brings the pickup around. You got to pack that animal out.
Yeah, that's a different thing that I've never done. I've never field dressed an animal.
I've never done it either.
Load them up in the truck, and that's actually one of the better things about the father-in-law's land in Amarillo. So there's no trees or brush or anything where you just drive right up to wherever he's at.
Drive the tractor right out there, put him in the bucket.
Yeah, and but that's one thing. You said you process your own meat, or do you still?
I try to. I really wanted to get into it. I'm not the best, but it's something I feel good about, man. Taking it from from hoof all the way to the table. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, that's me as well. Me as well. We did it out of necessity a few years back. We were at this ranch, Pop, me, my dad, my brother, and the guy, they needed to cull some does, whatever. He says it was coming towards the end of the season. They said, we need to shoot more does and this and that. And he said, he says, if y'all want to stay for a couple extra days, he goes, we'll take y'all shoot some does. Y'all can have as many as you want. And we're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
So I think we shot 10 or 15 does or something that weekend or something like that. They took half of them and gave it to, the different, because those big ranches, whatever, have like guys that work for them and this and that. So everybody got a little piece, whatever. And I think we got 6 or 7 does.
Holy cow.
So we come home and we're like, and before that, we'd always got them processed by either Dorks in Santa Fe or there's a place in Hitchcock. But it was like, well, we can't afford to process 7 does.
Yeah. So about $500 in processing fees.
Dude, fucking, it's damn near $500 a deer now, depending on what you get. I mean, not that much. It's like $300 though, for real.
Can be, for sure.
Fuck. It's crazy. So, Pops went out and bought a grinder, bought all the shit. My grandpa pulled out an old, one of his, he called him Uncle Ollie. He wasn't really an uncle, but he was Uncle Ollie.
Like an old field manual?
That's it. He had an old recipe book about how to make jerky and how to make summer sausage and this and that. He deer hunted every year. And so we started making sausage and doing this and that, and it turned out good. And then so recently, in the last 3 or 4 years when I've been going with the boys, I've processed all the meat myself and this and that, and ruined some meat trying to make sausage and this, but it's something I enjoy though. I do and when we skin the animal, dress the animal, and butcher it and all that stuff there, the boys are there and they're learning, and it's good skill to pass on to people, all that stuff. And then
they'll carry that on too later on. They'll share that knowledge.
Yeah, it's one thing that my dad didn't really grow up deer hunting, and so we learned together.
Right.
Kind of when we were going out on these hunts, and that Pops worked at Valero, turnaround manager. We got taken on a lot of trips. Right. So, but a lot of these places you go to where they take you on trips like that, they have the ranch hands that work there, and they'll field dress that animal for you.
Yeah,
or not field dress it, but they'll do it for you and put it in your ice chest and this and that. Well, me and Pops went, and we never let anybody touch our deer.
Right.
And that's something he taught and instilled in me. He says, if you shoot it, you're gonna clean it. He says, you're gonna. He goes, that's just the way it goes. And so I try to do the same thing with the boys. I tell them, the first couple, I was like, I'm doing. I was like, then after that, you're going to have to start doing. So
best way to learn.
Yeah. And, but it's something I actually enjoy, man. I I want to get into butchering more. Eventually, I'd like to have cows and all that stuff and be able to butcher a cow a year or something like that. And do it all myself. But yeah, those are just different cuts of meat, man. And that, I've tried to do better the last few rounds of deer as far as cutting up steaks, doing little different things where you can use the meat more than just ground deer and chili
or jerky.
Or jerky, exactly. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do more.
There's so much there.
Yeah.
There's so much good stuff there you can do with it.
Yeah.
So, you go buy ground meat easy.
Yeah.
You take a whole animal, all those beautiful cuts of meat, like you say, and then just grind it all up into burger meat. That's a waste to me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been doing for years. And I tell you, there's a show called Meat Eaters.
I watch it.
You watch it? It's a great
sure.
fucking show. That dude's awesome, man. Steve Ranella, he has shows where he shows how to process deer meat, and he shows how to skin them up on the, when they're hanging up by the hoof or whatever. And then he'll go into the barn or go in wherever he's at in the kitchen table, and he's just, this is how you cut this steak or this steak, a round steak or whatever. You do this, do that, and shows all the different kind of ways. And he's got some recipes and shit that are freaking awesome, man. So
he's awesome. He eats everything too. I like that. I really got into eating more of the organs a few years ago.
Yeah.
Man, the heart, that's my favorite part of the whole deer now.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part to eat.
I'm going to start doing that more. I've done it before. I'm trying to get everybody else. I think I'm just gonna start cooking it and be like, oh, here's a backstrap.
No one will know.
And no one will ever know. But the heart, the liver, all that stuff. I want to start getting into more because, like you said. And I've seen some, you just watching them shows, whatever, them guys eat that stuff. It looks so freaking good.
It is. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's a little bit gamier, but you killed a wild animal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not farm raised with all the flavor.
Well, the thing, I don't even think it's, it depends on where you get them, what they're eating, right? That's all that matters. So them deer up there near Amarillo, they're eating alfalfa all year round.
Yeah.
Do not taste like game to me. They don't taste like beef. That doesn't mean they're gamey. Yeah. That's a big misconception that frustrates me when people are like, well, it doesn't taste like beef. And I'm like, well, it's not supposed to.
It's not beef.
It's an entirely different animal, but that doesn't mean it's gamey, you know?
Yellowfin tuna doesn't taste like rabbit.
Two entirely different species, yeah.
No, not everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah. Are you tired of fish yet?
Am I tired of fish yet?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Dude, a sushi freaking machine over here. That's my jam. You fry it, bake it like freaking Forrest Gump was with shrimp.
Forrest Gump, yeah.
No, I love fish. I still eat fish a lot. I eat fish regularly. I still go on a few trips out of the backyard there at the house, take the boat for a couple hours and catch a few for dinner, you know? Yeah. I don't try to fill the cooler. I don't try to kill 100 fish, but I'll go out and keep a red and a flounder for dinner, you know, or a couple trout for dinner.
Yeah, we got some good flounder out here, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, where's your favorite spot in Texas?
My favorite spot in Texas, I haven't been to as many as I probably should have been.
Well, let me ask this two ways then. Where's the favorite spot you've been? Where's the favorite spot? Or where's the spot you think you want to go?
Man, I went last spring to Enchanted Rock, and that like opened my eyes. Like, hang on a second, there's a whole lot more to Texas than Houston. Because my perception of Texas since I've moved here or been coming here all these years has been Houston.
Yeah,
you know, the Westin, the Galveston. I've fallen in love with Jamaica Beach where I live now, but it's still Houston. But going out there to like, what is it, Fredericksburg?
Yeah.
Man, get out of town. That's so neat out there. It's like this is cute little German village. You don't think you're in Texas anymore. You think you're somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, I love it up at East Texas in the Piney Woods. It makes me feel like I'm back home in Alabama and Florida. That reminds me of home. Where I want to go, there's so much to see here. It's such a gigantic place. Yeah. I mean, I want to see some of the Rio, like Rio Frio, some of the rivers.
Yeah, the Frio River. You got the Rio Grande, the Red River.
I want to see a lot of it. I have to make a confession. I haven't seen the Alamo yet.
Oh, God damn it!
I know I haven't seen Alamo yet. I don't own a shirt that says Texas on it yet. I got a lot to do.
We need to start catching up, man.
I know. I turnarounds traveling between surfing and working. I don't have time. But Enchanted Rock, man, that was like one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. Yeah. I mean, just to go there and it was deer in spring when the blue bonnets, not bluebells. Bluebells and ice cream in Texas. Yeah. When the blue bonnets were blooming and all those pretty flowers, man. Not to be too girly, but man, it was super pretty. It was crazy.
It's funny that like. It's probably been the last 4 or 5 years or whatever that I personally started noticing beauty. Yeah. In nature, in things, in whatever, you know, sunsets that just whatever. Young, growing up as a kid, as a whatever a dude, you're just like, oh yeah,
it's too macho. You can't accept it.
Fuck all that. But yeah, there's some spots you just stick around and you just look around and you're like, wow, it's gorgeous.
Right. Dude, I'm a sunset guy, man.
Yeah. Even if it's you know, you're in a high-rise hotel looking over downtown Austin or downtown Houston or something. Yeah. Like, that's beauty in itself, too, right? But, yeah, places like that, you know, you go to Fredericksburg, even floating those rivers, there's times that I go floating down the Guadalupe, and there's, like, a long stretch where it kind of opens up, and then you're just seeing, like, the landscape. There's no houses. Yeah. There's no roads. There's nothing. You just see the landscape, and you're like, oh, this is how it was in 1836
right.
when
the hill country is so pretty.
It's unreal, man.
Yeah, I was blown away when I got up there. I had one perception, and to see the many faces of this state, dude, it blows me away. There's a whole lot to offer here other than just traffic and freaking Waffle House. There's a whole lot more. There's a lot, dude. Not that Whataburger's bad, but man, there's a lot going on here.
That's what makes Texas great. Yeah. And I don't think we've talked about this on this podcast yet or not, but you're right. That diversity and they I tell you what, they had a pretty good exhibit at the Houston Rodeo this year that we went and looked at. So they had whatever, their little walls set up or whatever that had descriptions of the different parts of Texas. So they had the hill country, and in the hill country they had the bluebonnets, and they had different wildlife that's kind of native to there. I think they had something about the breweries that are all around their rivers and shit like that. And then they had Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
And then they showed the fishing, they showed the salt grass, they showed, and it was just each kind of different area and what the plants and vegetation and animals and industry that were prevalent in those areas, but there was like 7 of them.
Yeah.
So you get the Piney Woods, like you said, in East Texas.
Yeah.
You got Gulf Coast. You've got the hill country. You've got, kind of the desert, West Texas, El Paso, that kind of area.
Yeah.
You got the high plains in Amarillo.
You got everything.
It's all there.
You got everything.
Yeah, it's
and
all there.
You've got Mexican food. You've got tacos, my friend.
You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. Are you a craft beer guy? You don't drink.
No, I don't drink.
So when did this come about? Let's talk about not drinking.
6 years ago, I quit drinking. 6 years ago, out here on a job, I quit drinking.
Just cause?
Y'all too much, man. I have a bad problem. If I drink, I get naked. It doesn't matter where I'm at or who I'm with. If I drink, I get naked. I mean, not in a minute, not tomorrow, but like I'm talking about right now, I'm getting naked. I black out. I'm funny. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not a go to jail guy. I'm hilarious when I drink. I get hilarious. I start getting real loose. I start laughing, and I'll black out. But when I black out, I got like a 6-hour battery. I mean, at 6 hours, I'm going to sleep wherever I'm at. But that 6 hours, I'm no longer behind the wheel.
Yeah.
My alter ego is behind the wheel, and he likes to be naked.
He just likes showing his wiener. I don't know.
He likes to shake his butt, man. He likes to party. So about 6 years ago, I realized I was late in my 30s, and it's not acceptable to run around naked. So I decided I would withdraw from drinking, and I have yet to be naked in public since.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. You offered me a drink when I came over here. This would have been a whole different show had I had a couple whiskeys. It'd be naked time with Brad JP.
Yeah. That's a different podcast,
That's
man.
a different rating.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask about the craft beer phase. Kind of seems to be sweeping the nation. But I was thinking about this the other day. There's not like craft beer and Mexican food being joined.
That's a great idea. The craft beer movement's hit Costa Rica now.
Oh, yeah?
And there's craft breweries popping up all over the place down there.
Well, that's because all the fucking hippies are moving to Costa Rica.
And they love craft beer.
They do love craft beer.
They do love craft beer.
Hipsters, I should say, not hippies.
So what you
hipsters.
need is a hipster Mexican restaurant with craft tequila.
Oh.
See, y'all got Tito's vodka in Texas, but you don't have a Texas tequila on the market yet.
I think there is one.
I should have kept that to myself.
I think there is one, and I think it's fairly close. I think the lady in San Leon, Texas.
Really?
Do you know this place? It's called
Hoolies or something?
No, Gil Hoolies is another great fucking place.
Yeah, that's
if you
awesome
want oysters, and you're coming down Galveston County, don't go anywhere else but Gil Hoolies.
Yeah.
Gil Hoolies is the place to go, and their entire parking lot is made of oyster shells that are from the restaurant. That should tell you enough.
That place is good for sure.
Yeah. Let me look at this. So it's a San Leon. The lady makes rum.
Oh, really?
I think it's called Rita's or something like that.
Rita's rum?
Fuck, I don't know. Hold on. Let me type this shit in. San Leon Rum Factory Distillery.
But that's not tequila.
But she makes tequila though too.
Oh, she does.
I don't know. This is why I can never remember it because I can't remember her name. Raylan Distillers. This is in San Leon, Texas. They do tours and do different things. I found out about it on a Travel Channel show when dude goes around drinking.
Yeah.
And which is a great job.
That's a good job. That'd be a rated X show for me.
Yeah. Yours is on Playboy Channel.
A little small censor. Have to be a big mark.
But he came down to Houston to do like the Houston version of drinking, right? So he went to Eighth Wonder Brewery where they're doing the craft beer stuff. It's a really cool spot. Downtown Houston, minutes from Minute Maid Park. He went to this Raylan Distillers, and I believe she's the only place in America that makes a certain kind of rum.
Huh.
Like it's the only rum that they make in the Caribbean.
Like a spice rum, I wonder.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly the details, but this lady does it. But anyways, I was looking at her the other day because I was trying to get her on the podcast. I sent her an email, no luck. So if anybody knows her, let her know I'm trying. But she, I'm pretty sure, makes a tequila as well.
Very cool. That's what Texas needs. You need a tequila.
Yeah.
You got Tito's. That's a great vodka. I hear it looks like it works on everybody. Seems to be popular. You need a tequila here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we got everything else. We got some pretty good whiskeys. There's some guys coming out with bourbon. There's craft beer all over the place, man, and they're good too. That's the other thing is there's a lot of good spots coming up, and there's a lot of places marrying. I can't really say that very well over the podcast. Right. But they're marrying.
Joining?
There you go. The craft beer, like open up a little brew pub, whatever, and then they have food trucks out front. So it's it's new business. These we had a crawfish out of a food truck yesterday.
Good.
Me and the wife. It was good. It was good. It wasn't the best crawfish I ever had, but it was good.
Right.
It definitely wasn't the worst. So, but it was also outside of a little bar. It was called Okies in Kemah, Texas.
Right.
Okies Yard House. I'm sorry, Okies Yard House. And I looked up on their wall. Everything they have on draft is all local beers. Eighth Wonder, Saloon Door Brewing, Galveston Bay, Galveston Brewing. And I think there's one more, maybe forgetting. There's one in Dickinson called Beer Refining.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
refinery worker or something like that. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, but anyways, it's all local beer right there on tap, and of course they have everything else. They have Bud Light, this and that. But is it bad that I judge people that order Bud Lights now? I'm like,
I don't know.
I'm like, you don't know. You just don't understand.
Get a
like I was sitting there. It was funny. I had this thought. I'm sitting there looking at all these local beers and all this stuff up on the wall, and this guy walks up, and I was drinking Tito's and water at the time because I'm supposed to be not drinking beer.
Yeah.
So anyways, I was looking at all the beers, wishing I could drink them, and this guy walks up and he's like, "Let me get a Bud Light," and I looked at him with like a face of disgust, I'm sure, and I'm like, "What a fucking
you
asshole."
Judged him immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
He's an older guy. He's been drinking Bud Light for 40 years. Who the fuck am I? But I'm like, son of a bitch.
Get out of here.
But no, it's really cool, man. That's the stuff that all that kind of stuff interests me, and they drum up the culture of your area, right? So it seems to me, in any case, right, these breweries are the ones having on the local music, and they're having on the local food truck guys that are trying to start their business and do whatever.
Keeping it local.
Exactly. And I'm kind of over the whole chain thing. You know, and
it's stale.
Yeah, they serve they serve good food to a lot of people, and that's cool. But I don't really I don't want to give my money to any of those guys anymore. Yeah,
they got plenty. I mean? Help the local guy that's struggling
that's
to
where
keep
I'm at.
the doors open.
That's where I'm at.
I'm with you 100%.
Yeah,
that's one cool thing about Texas is y'all. Texas promotes Texas over everything, and it's the only state I've ever been to that does it. It doesn't matter if it's groceries or if it's vodka or if it's beer or produce. You guys stay local, and I really appreciate that. It's very cool. Yeah, that's why a lot of veterans are getting out and moving here.
Yeah,
the guy that owns Black Rifle Coffee Company just moved to Texas.
I did not know that.
He moved to Austin. So I mean, people are flocking to get here. Yeah, and for good reason,
dude. Yeah, it's blown. Even this area we're at here, where I'm at in League City, 10 years ago. Well, where I keep saying I've been saying 10 years ago for about 8 years. So eventually I got to say 20.
You're gonna have to. You don't spring chicken anymore either.
Yeah, I know. But when I was growing up, going from Santa Fe or even from Galveston, we can call it from Galveston, Houston, there was the Texas City Mall of the Mainland, and there was Baybrook Mall. Yeah. And that was it. That was the only things on 45.
Now it's neighborhoods all the way to Galveston.
Well, dude, you can't. There's something at every exit. There's some major thing at every exit. So it's unbelievably blown up. This town of League City, I'm pretty sure in 2000 had less than 20,000 people in it. It's I think far less than 20,000. I looked it up not too long ago. But now it's well over 100.
And every day there's houses popping up, or new subdivisions popping up, or new shopping centers popping up. This place is blowing up.
Every day. And it's good and it's bad. It's good and it's bad. It's convenient.
Yeah.
That life's convenient when you can go down the road and there's a massive HEB and there's 100 different things to do as far as movies or Top Golf or whatever. All that's all that's right down the road from where we're at. The bad thing is traffic, obviously, right? And you start to lose that local culture.
Yeah, absolutely. You go for the quickest, the easiest, the closest, and you get in your little routine. Your routine's not local.
Dude, and speaks to this point exactly. We tried 3 different restaurants to go sit down and have a little bite to eat, and we're going to drink a little bit of vodka and just enjoy Good Friday.
Yeah.
Me and the wife both had it off. We got some work done around. We both worked out in the morning. We got some work done around the house, and we were just going to spend the afternoon together. And so we hit 3 different restaurants trying to sit down and eat, and each one of them had over an hour wait.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember. So one of them was Swamp Shack. One of them was, I don't remember what the first place we went. Swamp Shack was the second place. But regardless, anyways, they were like, they're popular places and this and that. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and wait an hour for these places that are not. They're not. Oh, the other one was Sam's Boat.
Yeah.
But Sam's Boat's a good spot. It's another kind of local spot. It's right there on the water in Clear Creek. Or Clear Lake, I'm sorry. Clear Lake, right there on the water. But I was like, man, I don't feel like sitting waiting for an hour. So anyways, we were driving by, and there was this little bar, and it said Bar and Grill or whatever, and it was right there in Kemah, and there was hardly any cars there, and the wife's like, you want to stop there? And I was like, yeah, let's try it. I'm down for local, right? So I pull in. And as we're pulling in, I noticed this other place across the street that's got all these food trucks lined up and whatever. I was like, well, look, they got food trucks and stuff over there. So if this place isn't cool, we'll just go over here. So we walked into that little bar, and they didn't really have a grill.
Right.
It said Bar and Grill.
They had the bar covered.
Yeah, they had the bar covered, but they didn't really have the grill. So we walked over to the food truck place and had a real good time. But like I said, that's the stuff I enjoy. That's what I like.
There's a place on 146 south of there called Bayview Duck.
Yeah,
if you've ever been there, it's freaking awesome.
Somebody else was telling me about it. I think Big Andy was telling me about Bayview
Back
Duck.
in my drinking days, that was my spot, man.
Is that the British guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Alec.
Yeah.
And his wife, Cherie. They were the most awesome couple. Back in the day, man, Stella Artois was my beer. And every time he brought you one, the mug wasn't frosty. It was frozen solid. I mean, and you couldn't get that close to the bottom, and he had a frozen mug full. The mug was so cold that the beer would start freezing in it, and the food was good. He made Scotch eggs. He had a lot of British food, but it was just like this eclectic, homey, local, awesome place to hang out, man. I need to go back there and eat because their food was really good. They always have these weird, kind of folky bands, real Irish kind of music, It was just this weird little British pub stuck in the middle of Hitchcock, Texas, that was, it still is, just this awesome vibe, just this cool place to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that place out. Literally, 2 weeks ago, Big Andy was telling me about that. We were talking about dive bars around here and place to enjoy, and that's one place you brought up.
That spot, man, that was my jam. I loved it back in the day. I really loved going there.
Yeah.
But I'd get naked and they'd ask me to leave. I'd have to go find my gear.
You can say the truth. They're all just jealous. All the men got jealous, and then you had to leave.
Probably not. Probably not the case.
So, where's your favorite spots now to hit up, man? What do you try to go to get some of that culture in your life?
Man, around here, I'm kind of a homebody now.
Yeah.
I work out and I surf and I run, and I don't living way out on the west end, it's 20 minutes just to get back to the seawall. So if I go back up the seawall, I'll go to Salsa's or something, and it's a chain, but it's Mexican food and it's fast. But down on the west end, we've got this little place called Nate's West End, which is the little hole in the wall. It's an old beach house on stilts, man, but the food is top notch.
Yeah.
It's like comfort food, grilled chicken and seafood. So I'll go there and hang out. I love to cook. So for me, I love to cook, man. That's my jam. So cook a big meal at the house, fire up the grill, watch the sunset, go for a skateboard in the park, for a little while. That's kind of me now.
Just the hippie life.
Yeah, man. I love to skateboard. I love to go look at the sunset where we live.
Of course you do. Of course you love skateboard. Of course.
So it's kind of me, man. I'm simple. I'm not,
I'm
not out much anymore.
10-4. Any other spots in Texas? You been in the rodeo?
Yes, I've been a couple times.
What'd you think?
Like it. It's cool.
It's cool, right?
It's cool. Yeah.
Did you go do the whole thing at the little event center? And
I haven't made the whole thing. Every time I've made the rodeo itself, and I made the concert once. Last time I went out for the rodeo, I think barrel racers are wicked hot. I love barrel racers. I think I like that. So I like to watch the events.
I like that.
I like that a lot. I think it's fun, man. It's super fun. It's like you take something that's down home and personal, going to watch, your husband, your boyfriend, your uncle, your nephew ride bulls, something intimate and 50 people in the stands to put it on a national stage with 50,000 people in there,
Shit, more than that, bro.
Right.
Yeah, so the only rodeos I ever went to growing up was the Houston Rodeo, right?
Yeah, so that was what you thought rodeos were.
Well, I knew it wasn't. I knew that that was the big one. But then when I married my wife and we started going back to her hometown, those are true cowboys, right?
Yes.
They're true ranchers and
people that do it for a living.
Exactly. And so they have their little local rodeo there that I've been to 2 or 3 times and watched. And it's fun. It's fun to watch that at that level, just those different sports. But it's also, and I'd say the only rodeos. I also Galveston County Fair and rodeo.
Yeah,
so that's why I knew that the Houston Rodeo was the big one, right?
Right.
And Galveston County Fair, they also put on a very good rodeo.
Yeah,
but,
it's the same people.
Exactly.
It's the same athletes on a grander stage because they deserve to be there. Those guys and gals will go from riding a 3,000-pound bull and a 2,000-pound barrel horse in front of 9 people, and they'll give it everything they got just as much as on that 60,000 people stage. I mean, those people are gritty, man.
Dude, yeah,
they're salty.
That's tough. That's a tough breed. Them cowboys, man.
Can you imagine driving 5,000 miles to go get your face kicked in by a mule, and then the next day go drive 5,000 miles to go get your face kicked in by yet another mule? I mean, that's
so. I used to work with an old boy, QC manager for JV Piping back in the day. Call it 7 years ago, right?
Way back.
Yeah. But he, like you, that you go do your surfing business or whatever, he bull rode. He was a bull rider. And
so I got no need.
Dude, he would, in the middle of the turnarounds, leave on a weekend and would go up and go ride some rodeo in Cheyenne or in, up in Dallas or something like that, wherever it was. And he flew. He was sponsored, and they would fly him plane tickets wherever we went. And he just went and rode bulls.
Give me a shark any day. I got no need for horns.
God damn. I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever had any encounters with sharks?
Yo, plenty. Yeah, plenty.
Dude, how are you still alive? You make me so nervous.
Man, I got not chased, but I got whipped on by one a couple years ago. A real good swell back home around Christmas. It was really cold, and I cut my foot on my fin, and my buddy was looking all nervous, and I realized there was a shark circling me. And I've seen lots of sharks in the water for sure.
What kind of shark?
Doesn't
matter.
Didn't ask you. There's a shark circling me, and I was on a surfboard, so I went to the beach and I patted some sand in the cut and let it dry before I went back out. But yeah, I never ask them. It's clear enough to know it's a shark, and you go in.
Jesus. Great white scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, great whites make me nervous. Anytime I surf the Pacific, I think about them the most.
Are they in Costa Rica? Are they down there?
No, the water's warm, but that's not to say they wouldn't be down there.
But you got fucking crocodiles, so what's the
crocodiles.
difference?
Crocodiles sketch me out a little bit more than a shark does.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So now we got to worry about crocodiles on top of fucking sharks.
When I got down to Playa Grande last week, the lady I rented a little cabin from, she was kind of lining the brakes out for me. And she was like, well, down to the left is this brake, and down to the right is this brake. She's like, down to the left is fire. It's really good. It's like a really good right-hand point brake. But be careful. The saltwater crocs have been kind of hanging out there a lot. There's 3 or 4 that are kind of been there. I don't know if they'll mess with you or not. If you see them, you may want to get out of the water. She goes, but the surf is really good. I didn't go down there by myself, looking like a sardine. I was like, I'll surf up the coast a little ways. I won't go down there.
Yeah, dude. All it takes is them to be having a bad day.
Right? That could step on one or something. I don't know.
No way. No, sir.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, sir. We got alligators here, but not I've seen alligators here. I'm trying to think if I've ever encountered anything like that. I've seen alligators here, but never big enough to, worry about.
Yeah, you're not swimming around in the water with him.
Oh, that too.
Dangling your feet off the back end of the board, daring him.
There's bull sharks in Florida, right?
Oh yeah, we got lots of bull sharks. We got, you name it, we got them. You name a shark, we got makos. I mean, the world record mako was caught off our beach like in 15 foot of water a while back. I think it's since been broke, but 1,000-pound mako sharks right up on the beach in 10 foot of water. Hammerheads, bulls, tigers, we got them all. We got every one of them. If he swims, we got him.
What about Hawaii? Does Hawaii have sharks?
Yeah, they have tigers.
They
have tigers. They have hammerheads. They've got them all too.
Yeah.
The occasional great white. You get reports on the news channel out there.
You ever go scuba diving? Is that a thing?
No, should have. All them years on a charter boat.
Yeah.
Never got certified. I've used people as regulator.
Yeah.
Hauled them down, but I am not a scuba diver.
I had a really good time doing that in Puerto Vallarta. Me and the wife went for the honeymoon, and I wasn't really. She wanted to do it, and I was just like, okay, I'll do it, whatever. I wasn't really into it, and then we got down there and did it, and I'm like, this is pretty badass.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was pretty cool, man. So we're going back in July this year to Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah,
and taking all the kids of the family and all this time, and I'm probably gonna do it again.
Go north up the coast about 45 minutes. Your buddy Doomswell talked about it, Sayulita.
Yeah,
that's a groovy little town, man.
Yeah, I might have to check it out.
Best tacos al pastor ever, man. This guy Ivan makes these tacos on the spit that you shave off, like tacos al pastor, dude, and grilled pineapple.
Like they do gyro meat.
Exactly.
Yep.
He does the same thing on rotisserie there in the streets, like cobblestone streets. Groovy place. There's a guy that wheels around like homemade sweet corn tamales. Oh, get out of town, dude. Grooviest place ever. I love it there.
I'll have to check it out. I'll have to hit you up before I go get all those details. Anything else you want to talk about, man? Guess how long we've been going?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours 25.
Dude, is that a record?
I think it is actually.
All right.
I think it is actually. I've had some go this long, but that's with the music on the front and the back end. We didn't even get into music.
No, we haven't done any music yet. We singing or what?
You want to sing us out?
No,
I'll let you.
I don't sing us out.
I'll let you. I know you're not any good, so it'd be great.
No, I'm not drinking. I got my clothes on. Wrong show.
I'm gonna go grab some whiskey and we'll sing. We'll let you sing us out.
I'll do it for sure.
Hey man, I really appreciate you doing this. This was a blast.
I enjoyed you having me.
I want to do it again.
Please.
You got plenty of stories. We're just scratching the surface, I know.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a bunch of details we can get into.
You scare the shit out of me with your surfing. Goddamn, be careful. No, man, it's been a lot of fun.
I definitely agree, JP. It was worth the drive, man. It was awesome.
Good deal.
Anytime.
I appreciate it. All right, guys. You want the people to follow you? You got anything you want to promote? I mean, you're just old turnaround hand,
The old turnaround hand, Brad King 76 on Instagram. That's about all I know.
10-4. All right, guys. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for paying attention. We love you. Have a good one.
Peace.
Awesome. Well, that was Bad Brad King. He was kind enough to come on and share some of his stories with us today. That guy's been all over, done some crazy things. Hilarious guy. Always been real nice. He's one of those guys do anything for you. Really appreciate him and hope to have him on again. He's got some, like I said, he's got some crazy stories, but wanted to give some credit to our intro and exit tunes today. Our intro song was Hit the Ground Running, and that's by Reckless Kelly, and that's a tribute to Mr. Brad. He's always running and gunning and going, and also, the charity marathon run that he does every year has done is a pretty cool deal. So, like I said, tribute to that. Our exit tune is going to be Southeastern Stun by Turnpike Troubadours, and that's a song about a guy enlisting in the Army, and a really good one by Turnpike, and of course they got a bunch of good ones. But thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, let us know. Thanks.
This is suit of a soldier for your southeastern son. Well, tell mom not to worry. Live working it hard. Never thought